What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Westerbros. Okay, we're out here. Now, here's the deal with this episode. Everybody who's already been listening knows that we're doing Westworld this season, okay? But we're also going to be doing Avengers. We're going to start the episode with Avengers, okay? Starting the episode with Avengers. When we finish Avengers, then we'll start with Westworld. I'll put in the comments or the description or wherever the fuck it is the time stamp for when we start the Westworld discussion. Okay? So if you haven't seen Avengers yet, go see it. Then come back and join us for this little dialogue that we have about Avengers. If you have seen it, enjoy us here right now. And then if you haven't seen the second episode of Westworld, you could just pause, watch that, and then come back and talk with us when you've seen it. Look how accommodating we are. It's amazing what we're willing to do for the people.
Way.
We really have, man. We're gaining steam. I'm not going to lie on this Westerbros. Every time I'm on the road, people come up and they're like, yo, you going to do this? You going to do that? You got to do Dark. They keep telling me about Dark. They say Casa de Papel. This is like this movie, this Spanish film. Did you tell me about that as well? Yeah. It's on Netflix. It's on Netflix, but it's from Spain. They robbed the treasury in Spain.
Subtitles?
Probably subtitles. Now, that being
said,
said,
be a hard pass for me. For that reason, I'm out.
Oh, you don't like subtitles?
I don't like to read when I'm watching something.
Dude, it's the best.
Do you not like Narcos?
I couldn't do season 3 of Narcos, no.
Oh.
Season 3 of Narcos was the best
I
one.
multitask a lot. Like, I'll be on my computer.
That's why you
or
need to read. That's why you need to read.
Focus.
You were full focus. I did it with Dark. There's this show called Dark.
Yep.
I had to do the whole thing in subtitles.
Dutch?
No, German.
German.
Yeah, whole thing in subtitles, and it was amazing. I actually fucking paid attention.
Yeah.
It was incredible. So I'm into the subtitles. I'm very invested for that reason, so I can get off my phone for 2 hours.
Should we watch everything in subtitles, like even English?
Honestly, it is embarrassing, but sometimes I do that shit, son. Because I don't understand, like some of
what
the
if
dialogue.
Westworld was in subtitles? Would we know more shit?
I do that. I do that. Sometimes I do that. I don't know if it was my like sound bar that was shitty, but something was up where I just couldn't understand it. I thought I was losing my hearing. I thought it wasn't clear enough. But yeah, sometimes I'll throw shit inside. Anything English, like Game of Thrones, I got to throw in subtitles. Some scenes.
Like English.
If they get to the wall.
Yeah.
Like up there, that shit is, if it's refined and, Castle Rock, if it's like the rich motherfuckers, the Lannisters talking, I get it. Once we get up to that wall, it's all, right. Go fast here, right. All right. Yo, dude, fucking wild. Stay over the wall with that. All right. Why are you always drinking out of a thermos every time you? All right, we're gonna find it. Come on, everybody. Let's fucking get him.
One of my boys uses my Netflix account, and he watches everything on subtitles. So when I go in, it's just on, and a lot of times I just leave it. Yeah, a lot of times I just leave it. It's just not bad.
That's how I knew an ex moved on.
What?
Well, because we shared a Netflix and like mad, I'm gonna suck your dick while I watch this movie came up.
Sick.
You know what I mean? No, it's not sick.
Yeah.
Like movies that you throw on that like you're not gonna watch it just to give head or get head, whatever. And I was like, all right, fine, she moved on. Fuck that. We switching up the password.
Yep.
Your shit getting deleted.
Got to.
Yeah, it gets sad when the recommendation is Kardashians. You're like, oh fuck.
Yeah, they moved. They moved on. They moved on. They found someone else.
You actually have to go in and delete it from your history in Netflix.
Kardashians means that she hasn't. Kardashian means she's lonely. She's bored. She's rewatching old Kardashians.
Reruns.
Oh, you won.
First season.
Dude, you fucking won. If she's watching Friends, if she's watching Kardashians, any of that, I need something to distract me from my loneliness before I go to sleep at night. You're the winner.
Yeah, that's true. I guess if it were a new show, it would be concerning.
Bro, if she's watching fucking Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift, she is bobbing someone's dick. Ain't no way two people watch that whole movie without some dick sucking going down.
How about a different friend who had my Netflix account? I guess he left it on at some girl's place.
Yeah.
And she has a kid. And I started looking at him like, what are all these like kid cartoon shows like recently watched? I text everyone. He's like, yo, my bad, man.
My bad, I'm a pedophile.
I was really like, yo, what? Like, one of you guys are kind of fucking suspect out here.
Son, that is real, bro. That is real. You can't be watching too many kid movies.
Hell no.
I think Kurt Metzger had a funny joke. He was like, I was watching Toy Story on the plane. I'm not a pedophile. I don't watch it as an adult. You know what I mean? I had nothing to do. It is true. Like, you can't be. There's certain movies as an adult
No, you can't watch.
You can't be like up to date.
Alone? No.
I would say anything with a G rating, it's suspect.
It is. You can't just buy a ticket.
Unless you're with a family member who's younger. Or
Buying a ticket is wild.
I have one to Zootopia.
Yeah, no. Don't do that.
You got to say no
I
to
don't
that.
care how good people say Up is. You're not going to theater solo to watch
Only thing Up is your dick when you jerking around all them kids, you fucking weirdo.
We're going to have to check the stubs on that one.
Yo, you can't buy one ticket as an adult to G. That is so true.
No, yeah. PG, maybe.
Nah, PG, there's some good movies.
You got that P in there.
Exactly,
So,
yeah.
Got that P in
That
there.
P gonna be in there.
They got that P in there. Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did.
You just pull up with a trench coat. I'll have one
PG ticket.
P. I'll have one PG ticket. Which movie, sir? It doesn't matter.
Any of them. I've been trying to get in for a week.
Couldn't go to the sold out ones. Kept bumping elbows.
iPick turned me down.
I don't like iPick. You're too far from them.
Too isolated.
Exactly.
Got barriers.
What's this pod? He goes into iPick thinking it's going to be the best, and he's isolated in his own pod. He's like, what the fuck is this? It's paid $20 to not touch any kids. What the fuck is going on? I can't even hear them giggle.
So creepy. All right.
Avengers. Let's start it up. Marco, we've been calling. We don't know where the fuck Marco is. He's doing big real estate deals. Maybe we'll get him on the phone. But he's doing that thing where you know how you can't let down a friend, so you just ignore the call.
Ignore him.
Yeah,
Which is even worse.
Yeah. I know. You should have just picked it up and owned it.
Yeah. Just
You know
say,
what
hey,
I mean?
man, sorry, I can't do it.
This is fucked up, Marco. Anyway. Okay, Avengers. I thought it was fucking phenomenal. Let me bring up an idea to you guys. How do I want to get into it? I guess what I love most about Marvel is how relatable the villains are, and we've spoken about this on past episodes. We spoke about especially with DC, right? Like DC, the enemy is always just some fucking giant rhinoceros-looking alien thing who just wants to kill Earth for no reason. It's like, and they never ask him, "Hey, why do you want to kill Earth?" And he's like, "That's what I do. I kill Earth." You know, Thanos. When they explained what he was doing, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think he's the villain. I think he's the hero.
And what were they explaining? What was the reason?
So I'm assuming everybody's watched the thing here, but what he was basically doing is trying to annihilate half the people on Earth so that the other half could live, right? And he experienced in his home planet, they didn't do that thing. And his home planet was just ravaged. Eventually, there just became too many people, not enough food, and everybody went to war, died, starved, etc. I think Dan Brown had a very similar book that was written about this called The Extinction or something like that, or a similar theory. And but so what I look at Thanos as, I look at him as Mitt Romney. Right?
Interesting. I was going to say Al Gore, Inconvenient Truth.
Or very similar.
He's out there trying to tell everybody the inconvenient truth.
This is the reality of the matter. Now, Al Gore ain't willing to pull the trigger like Mitt is.
He's just doing a documentary.
That's it. You showing the waves get high. You know what I'm saying? You show a couple of Eskimos lose their porch, but you ain't showing what really going down. You know what I mean? How many different words you got for you don't got a porch? Eskimos. So, but Mitt Romney, what he does with Bain Capital, right? Mm-hmm. That's his investment or hedge fund or whatever it is. They'll go in and buy a business. Mm-hmm. They'll fire half the people, and then they'll make the business profitable. And I always wondered, as like a Christian, how he reconciles that. And I'm sure on some level, he reconciles it by saying, "I just saved half the people's lives and their families' lives."
Interesting.
And I think that's how Thanos is reconciling the sacrifice, right? He goes, I can literally save half of the people in the universe. I know what's going to happen in the future. I've seen it. Everyone's going to die. Everyone's going to feel shitty. Everyone's going to lose everything. They're going to go to war. I can make it so half don't have to experience that horrific, tragedy that lays ahead in the future. And we go through the movie, right? And here's where it gets interesting. And we go, oh, wow, this Thanos guy's such a jerk. I can't believe he'd be willing to kill somebody so that the future could be brighter. And then this is why Marvel's the best. Then this bitch Vision tells his Olsen sister, Scarlet Witch. you know we don't know names in Westerbros. And then he goes, kill me. And she don't want to kill him. And then she finally goes, okay, for a better future, I will sacrifice the person I love. Mm-hmm. Tries to kill him, kills him, time stones it, runs it back. Same thing with Peter Quinn. For a better future, I will kill Gamora. Shoots Gamora in the head. He does the space stone or whatever the fuck that is, reality stone, and then turns whatever. So they're playing with your emotions. They're like, oh, you thought Thanos was the bad guy. Oh, yeah? He's just killing people that he don't know. Mm-hmm. These two heroes are willing to sacrifice the person they love more than anything on the planet to save the planet. So now you got to have this discussion with yourself. How many people is okay to sacrifice? Because you're a hero if you kill your loved one. You're a villain if you kill half the people. It's both so that we can all live prosperous in the future. I mean, that's pretty fucking brilliant storytelling.
But here's the thing. No one knows. Only he knows, and the Avengers that are dealing with the outcome of it.
No what?
The sacrifice he's making.
Who?
Like the population of Earth.
Yes.
They don't know that Thanos is doing this.
Right, and they don't even know that
They don't even know what the fuck is happening.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So it's a thankless fucking job, I guess, but like...
They're trying to get into one oak.
Right,
exactly. And all of a sudden, people are disappearing on the line. You're like, okay, I got a better chance.
Yeah.
All right,
hey,
let's
more
go.
More for me, yeah.
No, I'm not too familiar with the comics and the history and everything, but I saw online this was kind of one of the gripes that people had, because in the comics, Thanos was just evil, right? Like, he didn't have this...
No redeeming
He didn't have this layered, right? Like, that kind of, like, gets you a little conflicted. He was just all bad. And he was just killing for the sake of killing.
Right.
So what'd you think of that twist? So you like that they changed that?
I love it because...
I mean, obviously, yeah.
What'd you think, Jack? I mean,
I have so much to say. The one thing I would say is, like, I've read the gripes, and, like, to me, it's like, how could you possibly have a gripe after a movie like this? Coming out of this movie, I could safely say this is the most entertained I've ever been in a movie theater watching a movie.
Whoa.
The best experience I've ever had. I was by myself in a packed theater.
Clearly you haven't seen Up.
I said entertained, not sad. No, but...
or horny?
Yeah. You never went to the Sunday matinee.
PG. We don't know.
But go on.
No, there's just so much. Everything coming together. I realized as I was sitting down, I had a moment of nostalgia because I've been to every single Marvel movie in theaters, starting with Iron Man 1. I waited. It was the first time. I remember I was giving my ticket to the ticket guy, and he's like, yo, you got to wait till after the credit. There's a secret thing. Iron Man 1. I was like, what are you talking about, a secret thing? I'm like one of 3 in the theater. Wait until afterwards, Sam Jackson shows up. Oh, shit, there's more that's going to happen. Over 10 years, this comes together to this fucking movie.
Yeah.
So... to me, it was a culmination of 10 years of all this shit that's been happening and connecting all the dots. But there was so much fan service. There were so many moments for everybody in the theater. Like, yeah, there was the Wakanda moments. Obviously, Black Panther's fresh and everybody was rooting for that. But, like, Thor comes down with the hammer. Everybody's cheering. Iron Man gets stabbed. I heard audible gasps in the theater. Like, It was amazing, man. So walking away, I was like, that's an experience. No matter what you have to say about like the minor details in the movie, I walked out, I got an experience coming out of that movie.
You felt satisfied.
I felt so satisfied.
Okay.
Like too satified. I was like, all right, like what's going to happen in the next one? It's not going to be as good.
Dude, that is the most Irish Catholic way to look at.
I couldn't even enjoy it.
Exactly.
I was like, fuck. Yeah.
The rest is ruined. Movies are done. Why?
But in regards to this Thanos thing, we saw Justice League and we came out of it saying, you know what? We couldn't relate to the bad guy. It was just this CGI character that didn't seem to have any relevance or any real motivation.
Or desire.
They're
Or
just
desire.
corny.
It was
Yeah,
just like
whack.
clearly
Yeah.
a fucking piece of technology that was like put together and tried to become this villain. Here, this is the first time we've talked about the Joker. We've talked about Killmonger and Black Panther. This is the first time in my mind that a CGI character has been relatable and has been this good.
Interesting.
And Josh Brolin fucking nailed it in the mocap. And based off of what I read, he did the full
that
performance.
was Josh Brolin?
Yeah.
Yeah, Josh Brolin.
Josh
yeah.
Brolin was the best. Man.
Dual
I thought that was
duties.
the other guy who already looks like he's a monster.
Who? Mickey Rourke?
No, the other one.
Batista?
No, Lou.
From like Sons of Anarchy.
What,
Yeah, Sons of Anarchy white guy.
Oh, Hellboy?
Yeah, Hellboy.
Yeah.
What's his name?
I thought that was him, actually.
Yeah, me too. I didn't even think it was CGI. I just thought they painted his face. I was like, bro, there's no fucking way.
Yeah, no, it was Josh Brolin. He fucking nailed it, man. And the Russo brothers who directed this, they're masters of this now because they did Winter Soldier, which was the second Captain America movie that kind of
Much better Captain America movie in my
Then
opinion.
they did Civil War, which was the first time they were really bringing these characters together, and now they're doing this. And
Didn't they do Thor Ragnarok?
No,
that was
Taiki Waititi.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Taiki Waititi.
Taiki Waititi.
I gotta see what that guy looks like. I still don't believe that he's human. Doesn't he sound like a Yorkie?
But going back to what we were talking about,
You were saying about the gripe, right?
The gripe, yeah.
And I understand how, and I haven't read the comics, so I don't have that connection to it.
Very similar.
But what he's saying is that Thanos didn't have the layers. And I'll be honest, I don't hate on improvement. If I love the fact that there are these layers. I love the fact that I'm watching this movie and I'm going, whoa, the hardest decision that he had to make was killing his daughter. And that's likely the reason why we're going to have a part 2.
Likely.
I mean, it must be. Do you know what I mean? Like in my mind, and I'm sure you guys are thinking the same thing. Is like he feels immense. He's racked with guilt over killing his daughter, and then he runs it back. He uses the time stone to run it back. I don't know if that's what happens, but
there's a bunch of different theories.
We'll get into that.
Okay, we'll get into theories later. But like, I'm watching it, and I'm like, I couldn't do this. I couldn't kill half the people to save the rest. But who the person who I really think is an asshole in this is Doctor Strange.
Ooh, Strange.
Because he knows what's going to happen. Yeah, he knows people are going to die and they're going to fucking suffer.
But don't you have to kind of give him the benefit of the doubt and be like...
Here's the thing. It's the classic...
Be like what?
He knows the out... Like... and he's going to do what's best. So if he's doing this, he's doing it for a reason.
No, I know he's doing it for a reason. I know he's like, okay, let's just give him the time stone because eventually he'll be racked with guilt. But he's seeing all the different ways it could go, right?
There's one way. He saw 1,256,000, whatever it was. One way.
Right.
So we have to assume that what we see taking place, including Peter Quill coming in and seemingly acting on a whim and acting emotionally and ruining everything, just as that fucking gauntlet's coming off and Spider-Man's about to get it off. Great moment in the movie. We assume that that's what he saw, part of what he saw, and he just has to go along with it.
Yeah.
But my whole thing is, he tells Tony Stark, they're like, what are you doing? And his face is twitching out, and he's like, I just saw a million different reasons why we die, and there's one reason how we're going to live. I'm assuming that he told Tony Stark what's going to happen. One of my theories is that Tony Stark knows what the grand plan is, and he's not telling anyone until the very end of the next movie when he has to sacrifice himself.
Is that what happens? He dies?
That's what I think is going to happen.
Oh, do we know what's going to happen? Do the comic books tell us or no?
The comic books, they have their own way, but this is already veered enough. And it's
okay, we're deciding whatever we want to decide in this one.
Right.
I think one surprise was that Captain America didn't die. Everybody thought the Cap was going in this movie.
Everybody thought in the trailer when he's holding the gauntlet and he's about, everybody thought he was going to die. And when we took that punch, people thought he wasn't going to get up from that, but he got up.
Okay, I don't want to be like I love the movie, and I don't want to be like a plot hole fucking guy, but there's a couple things that like, instead of killing half the people on the planet, why not just make the planet twice the size?
How are you going to do that with the reality stone?
I mean, if you have the ability to, with the snap of your fingers, kill half of people in the universe, I'm pretty sure you could just stretch out a fucking planet, right? Or you could make a couple more chickens. Just make double the food.
Would it be sustainable or would it be real? Like, the way that we see in this movie, he's like messing with reality is like, instead of shooting a bullet, they're shooting bubbles, right?
Right.
Or like, instead of like making a planet look war-torn, it's like, normal. It seems like it's momentary simulations that are happening.
Oh, so he can't like really...
I don't know.
He can't make
I don't
chickens.
know if he would be able to like chill on the farm that he's on at the end of the movie when he's looking at the sunrise.
But he really took life.
He really took life. Well, we don't know. We don't know yet.
Oh.
That's one of the theories is that he didn't really... That's just part of the... That's the reality stone at play, making it seem like he took the life.
Hani?
So, I liked the movie. It wasn't great.
Oh, my God.
Whoa.
Gotta have one hater.
Whoa.
Go on.
It's a good movie. I don't like. It's a good movie. Like,
dude, coming from the guy who's never seen The Matrix, he's never seen Big Lebowski. Maybe you just haven't seen good movies. So you don't.
What are you basing this off of? What's your favorite movie?
What's your favorite movie?
Godfather.
Okay. Aside from that,
which one?
Favorite movie?
Deuce.
Ooh.
Good answer.
I think 2 is actually better.
2's better.
Yeah, it's one of the rare.
By a pinch, by a hair.
Yeah.
2's better.
Because 2 has
Pacino and De Niro.
De Niro in that bitch.
You got the past and the present.
Okay, what else besides Godfather?
I'll talk about. But that I love.
Yeah.
Hitch.
From The Godfather to Hitch.
You do love Hitch. You do love Hitch. I
The way that just came so quickly.
I could just see him laughing. Look how swollen his lip is. Look, because of the shellfish. Look, it's so
He
swollen.
had a second of realness where he looked at you and said Hitch, and then he goes, "Nah, I'm just playing."
Nah, because we've joked
But
about
he
Hitch
really
before.
loves that girl. Why doesn't he just go for her? Oh, he can hook other people up, but he can't hook himself up. What a conundrum this movie is.
Don't you see the fucking pain? No, I'm just kidding. I will give credit where it's due. I
Okay.
thought the task that they had to do was really hard, and they really came through.
In telling all the
In
stories.
telling all this story, right?
Yeah.
Also, what they did really well, and a part of the reason why I didn't like it, like this. What would you rather watch? Would you rather watch Rockets Warriors, or would you rather watch the All-Star Game?
Rockets Warriors.
Right? This is an All-Star Game. Okay, and it's too many cooks in the kitchen, right? So there's so many characters in this movie I don't actually care about. I don't care about Captain America. I haven't seen a Captain America movie since like maybe the first one,
That's why you don't care about him.
right? I don't care about Doctor Strange.
I don't care about Captain America as well. Doctor Strange, I could not have been less interested in.
Did you see Doctor Strange the movie?
until this movie, and now I want to go back and see Doctor
So you
Strange.
didn't see. So the reason why you guys don't care about this is because you haven't seen the movie.
No, I know,
Yeah.
but like, I can look at a movie that I've never even heard of a character from, and then go, "Ooh, that's interesting."
Right, but the whole foundation of this is relying on the fact that every time you see one of these characters on screen, you've seen at least 1 to 3 movies.
I'm just saying, like, I never was interested in him prior to this. Now I'm very interested in him. Now I like the character.
Right.
But prior to this, I thought it was stupid. I was
Right.
like, this guy knows spells. I don't want to see some like adult Harry Potter. What the fuck is he doing in Avengers?
But when you see what he went through to get those powers, and that he was an everyman that turned into that, it's like
I'll be into
yeah,
it.
you're
Okay.
invested in everything that he had to sacrifice for that.
Okay. So you
No, I
don't
don't
like
like Anthony Mackie, whatever.
Falcon.
Falcon.
Yeah.
Like, but you're spending time on this. So when they're on the screen, I'm kind of just like,
keep it moving.
it dies down, right?
Yeah.
I'd rather just see the characters I want to watch. But with that said, they did a really good job of pacing, right? You see these characters, even if you don't like them, they're still pushing the story forward, spending not too much time on there.
Quick.
right?
Few minutes in
Quick,
each story.
right?
Next one.
They also made the great decision of letting some new people shine. Like Thor shined. Hemsworth was fantastic.
Yeah.
In this,
He's
this
always a
movie,
beast, I feel.
right.
Always, yeah.
But
Yeah,
like before, like
underrated,
Thor was just kind of like a background Avenger, right? Now I feel like he had a big role. Maybe just because because he's so funny and like charming now. Like maybe.
And he's got 3 of his
stands
own
out.
movies.
Well,
under his belt.
and before this, Thor has been the one character that is in space. So like all these other, Tony Stark,
Right.
Hulk, they're all grounded on Earth. Thor, from the beginning of the first Thor movie, he's been taking the audience into the cosmic realm, which is like where this is taking place mostly. So
Right.
he's bound to be one of the characters. I think the 2 main characters of this movie, if you're really going to pick one, the first one is Thanos. He's the protagonist of this movie.
He's the hero.
I don't know if he's the hero,
Oh.
but he has the most screen time. To the audience, we get his perspective.
Yeah.
We got all the perspectives from
Dude,
other movies, but
what percentage of the world is starving?
like in real life or
Yeah, in real
IRL
life.
or in the movie.
IRL.
Fuck.
Yeah, IRL, bro. Kids. Fuck that young shit, okay? What do you think, what percentage of the Earth is starving? More? What percentage of the Earth lives in poverty? More than 50%?
Of the Earth?
Yeah.
No, not more than 50%. Less.
48%.
You think it's that high? You think it's in the 40s?
Yo, Alex,
I'll
can
say
you see
48.
which one lives in... Okay, all I'm saying is, like, when we hunt a lion and we're like, oh, that's so fucking evil. How dare you hunt a lion? You know what I mean?
That's just one lion.
Or not even it's just one lion. I'm like, that we care about that. But the gazelles don't give a fuck.
The gazelles are like, yeah, that's another.
We're
one of
the
our
hero to the
predators
gazelles,
gone.
right?
Yeah.
Like Kanye said this in the interview with Charlemagne. I thought it was so good. He goes, there is no good and bad. Things just are.
Yeah.
And good and bad is dependent on perspective.
Yep.
So, which is fucking hot, a hot take.
Yeah.
And I agree with him.
Yeah.
So it's like to a certain extent, like to certain people on the planet who are starving, and the whole fucking village has to share half of a dead cheetah.
This is crazy.
What percentage?
Over 80%.
Holy fuck.
What?
Live on less than $2.50 a day.
All right, so check it, right?
What?
So over 80% of the world lives on $2. So on some real shit, 80% of the world is fucking with Thanos. 80% of the world is like, now they got $5 a day. You know what I mean? Like 80% of the world. So you know how many communities now they got enough water to take a shower? How many showers? You got 2 showers a week? Take 4. Why don't you drink some water? Why don't you wash your teeth? Take 4 showers. You know how clean you about to be? You know what I mean? In Haiti, you know how fucking clean Haiti about to be, bro? Yo, that shit is gonna be pristine, man. Think about it. Think about all these little villages where they're starved. They got no fucking food. Now they got double the food. Yes, you got some folks in your hood died, but they were gonna die of starvation anyway. Think about the mom who she got all her kids still, and she had enough food to feed 2 of them. Now all of a sudden, like Thanos, a man of the
don't
people.
know though, because everybody living in poverty isn't sad or suffering. They like make the best of their situation.
Sure, poverty's relative, right? Like,
Yeah.
poverty's relative. So, like, if you don't know what rich is, you don't feel poor. Absolutely. But hunger is not relative. You either hungry or you full. You know what I mean? Like, no half hungry. You just hungry. So, like, if people are dying of hunger and dying of thirst, which we know happens, and now all of a sudden they have double the water and double the food, bro, Thanos is king to them. To us in America, to anybody who could listen to a podcast, we're fucked.
Yeah.
But to all the people who don't even know what the internet is,
You have one brother.
yeah.
One of you is gone.
Shit.
Ah, there you go.
No, but that's what I said. Like I was like, look, those families are going to be destroyed. Don't get me wrong; they're absolutely going to be
But
destroyed.
you also don't know why he's gone. You don't know that
Yo,
it's for...
I know that shit got to be weird when you just see him turn into a powder.
Greg just looks at you and he says, fuck. Mr. Stark,
Yo,
what's happening?
Yeah,
You know?
that shit was.
I don't feel so good.
Yeah, that shit
You
was
know?
so sad. Yeah.
So, and they don't know why. I mean, the Avengers know why because they're fighting this force. But like, in the end credits, when Sam Jackson is, did you stay for the end credits?
Yeah.
Sam Jackson's fading away.
Mother.
You know, he's assuming that there's some cosmic thing because that's his job. But like, the people around him don't know what the fuck's going on. People are just fading away into ash. Like,
And he called up Captain Marvel.
Marvel, yeah.
And what's that? Like some woman who's gonna save the day?
it's the next, so it's Marvel taking advantage of the Wonder Woman phenomenon.
Popularity.
So they're going to do a female Marvel movie coming out right before the next version of this, Infinity War 2, which is next March. So it'll be Captain Marvel. She's like the female equivalent of Green Lantern in DC. She's a pilot in the military, and then she gets like alien DNA in her, and she gains powers.
How? What can she do?
She can do, in the comics, she can do everything. She can fly. She could shoot like beams out of her hands, like fucking crazy
Can she
shit.
stop her menstrual cycle?
Still can't do that. But she's going to be a key player. In the
Guys,
next
I'd love to save the world today, but these cramps are killing me. So, dude, don't you think that would be the first thing you do if you had superpowers and you were a chick?
Probably.
Is just shut that pussy down, bro. Get them eggs out of there. Nobody talks about that.
It's true.
That's why Jean Grey is always tight. You know what I mean? Like Jean Grey always blowing shit up, and Professor X is like, "Why is you so angry? Why is it? It's busy." I want to do Wild like Professor X. He goes, well, maybe we can figure out why Magneto is so furious all the time, and then we can get together as humans and mutants at the same time, figure out our destiny. Why Jean Grey always got to be a messing all over the place and talking into Phoenix? I mean, the Phoenix really is a red Phoenix. She's a bloody red Phoenix, right? All the Phoenix is just Jean Grey with a bad period. That's all it is.
And she's the most powerful mutant in.
Is there
all of
anything
the
more
X-Men
powerful than a woman on her period?
Nope.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna start calling girls in their period. Mutant. You fucking mutant. What's going on? Calm your period down if you got all these powers. Real talk. You know how crazy being in Professor X's mansion must be when all them mutant
Hard
bitches cycle up on their fucking period?
Oh, that's crazy.
That's why Logan's always pissed.
Yeah, he's just got to deal with.
He
all
got to
that shit.
fucking teach all these motherfuckers. Do you know what I mean? Make a potion, beast. You know what I mean? Like, use your smarts. Like, what the fuck? Like, Cyclops around these hoes so much he's shooting period out of his eyes. You know, he got no. Yeah, he probably didn't even have that power. And then one day, water's coming out of Cyclops' eyes. This is so peculiar that all of a sudden the period is cycling up with Cyclops as well. Oh, I can cycle Cyclops. Oh, maybe that's why they call him that.
Wolverine's just sitting there in the middle of all this going,
Well, just give him
he's just
some.
trying to stab himself in the eyes with his claws and just re-healing every
No,
time.
exactly. He wants the fuck out of it. He can't even kill himself. Logan is so angry because he just wants to fucking die from being around these bratty little bitches and this cuck Cyclops who's got his period cycled up as well.
Oh, man.
What do they do for Cyclops? Give him some Oakleys. No, I know all keeping laser beams is Oakley sunglasses. You've never tried Oakley sunglasses? That would definitely keep laser beams on your face. You can obviously put some
Do they make
Oakleys.
tampons? No.
No! That's what they should throw. That's what Logan's like. Why don't you put a Kotex in his fucking eyeball, huh? That'll absorb it. Where is Logan from in real life?
From?
Yeah.
Canada. He's Canadian.
Really?
Yeah.
Yo, Hani and I got visually upset at that. Yeah, I wish you saw Hani's
I think
face.
he's Canadian.
He literally just looked at Jack and went, he's looking at his phone and he puts his phone, he goes, really? Like, I can't even watch the movie no more. You know?
I can say Detroit.
Yeah, give me some hard shit. You know what I mean? Bergen. Okay, what else? Avengers.
What do you want to jump into next?
I mean,
There's so much to unpack here.
Go,
I mean,
go.
What were
Go
your
for
favorite
it.
moments? Let's go over our favorite moments. I think everybody walks out of this with a different favorite part.
and then we should at least at the end give our speculation for the next movie.
Of course,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
We gotta talk theory.
All right,
Okay, go. You go first.
Jack, your favorite moment.
For me,
Yeah.
well, I love the experience. I had a guy sitting next to me, and during the whole movie, he'd be like, "Damn." And he'd talk about himself, and he'd be like, "Damn," and his dams kept getting progressively more. Damn. and then when Thor, at the end, when Thor shows up and he has the lightning eyes, damn. So that elevated the moment to me every time I was getting pumped up because I was sitting next to him. He was also cracking up when the Dinklage, when the Dinkles dough shows up.
How he got to be a midget even in
A giant
sci-fi?
midget, yeah, they couldn't-
like you can't stop
couldn't
being
give him a CGI
Bro, we
regular
got all the
body.
CGI in the world,
He
yo.
looks like
No,
a
'cause that
midget.
character-
Yo, son, he looks.
He looks like a midget.
That's even if you gave him regular body, you'd be like,
No,
nah,
that's the
fam.
head of a midget.
Nah, fam, you got midget head. Stop playing.
I know those dimensions. That's midget dimensions.
Yo, midget dimension. Yo, why your forehead width? Why your forehead width 4 times your chin width? That's not how it should be. Something's off with this character right here.
You want stilts, fam?
Wearing stilts. Yo, and you saw how they put his fucking midget
yeah, so
hands
he's just like
in the
this.
metal, bro. He couldn't do nothing.
Yo, every line he said, this guy next to me was just going. And he had a deeper voice than he has a deep voice anyway in Game of Thrones.
But he made it even dick.
Thor, what are you? And the guy next to me was just like, and everybody's taking it dead serious. And I'm just laughing with this guy next to me.
He's laughing just because he's
at
a
the fact that
midget.
he's a giant midget.
That's it. No other reason, but he's just looking at a midget be a midget.
5 times the size of Thor, and he's still a midget.
He showed up to work that day. He's like, finally I get to be the biggest guy I've ever been in my life. They're going to give me regular arms and regular legs. It's going to be sensational. And then he sees himself opening day in the movie. A big
He
fucking
doesn't
midget.
even know until he sees it with everybody else.
And at first he's like, all right, maybe I'm not as...
By the way, he's American.
Maybe I'm not as tall
He's
as...
from New Jersey.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, he's,
Okay.
the,
What's on
he's the
British-
only non-British
I
guy
like
on
the
the
idea
show.
that he show up and still talk like that.
So he shows up, he's like, all right, maybe I'm not. But you think at first he was like, all right, No, I mean proportions probably a little bit. I thought my legs would be a little longer, but at least I'm not. At least I'm not a midget. I'm definitely not a midget. And all of a
Camera
sudden,
pans out.
then all of a sudden, camera pulls out, and everybody else in the theater is like, "Yo, it's a big ass midget, fam! You see that big ass midget? Yo, this is wild, yo."
You can hear the pitch too. They're like, "We're making your character like 10 times the size of everyone else," and he's like, "I'm in." And then they go to the movie, and he's just fucking still a midget, just bigger.
Yo, and you can see people start contemplating this shit in the movie. They're like, "Yo, is a big ass midget still a midget though?" I mean, technically he's big as fuck, so he can't be a midget. But his dimensions is mad midgety, so I don't really know what to call that man. You know what I mean?
A little person.
No, but he ain't little, son. He
No. I like how we've used the word midget
I
400
know, we're gonna
times
get
in the
killed.
past 3 minutes, and now he's gonna be like, "No, guys, it's little person."
First
We need
of
the
all,
time stone to go back
blood
and replace
everywhere,
every
Alex.
single thing with little
Now you're gonna come in and be like, "Nah, don't do that."
Yo, why do they get upset about that though? Like
What?
like midget? Like what's so bad about it? Like everybody wants to be upset about words. The word got to have a history to me. Be
Well,
upset.
midget came from, isn't the actual syndrome called midget syndrome?
Boom, you're a midget.
But
That's what's up. Like that's not a big. Like if someone called me Caucasian, I wouldn't be like, yeah, Caucasian. Maybe we're from the Caucasus Mountains or something like that.
right.
Right? Isn't that where Caucasians are from?
Yes.
That's where we're made.
I don't know.
Made.
Yeah.
I don't know about the history of the word midget.
Yeah.
It's always just been a.
about
We were made in the
Midge? What about
Caucasus
just
Mountains,
Midge?
and he was made in the Middle East. Fucking midget.
Oh man.
There's no hate behind it, right? It's not like, like when you say the word, you don't feel hateful. You're just being descriptive of height.
What do you mean?
Like midget, you're not even height. You're just talking about, I guess dwarfism is what they call it now. You're talking about something that physicality.
Isn't it like if you're under like 5 foot and an
Legally
adult, you're
considered-
legally considered a midget?
Yeah, but I've seen like Dominican girls
Yeah.
that are like 4'11",
Yeah.
but they don't look like Dinklage.
Right.
That ass, dude. Though.
That's what
They got that dinkle ass.
They got that dinkle ass, bro. Yo, midgets do got fat booties, though. That's something you got to admit about them. You know what I mean?
All right. What was your favorite part? Of it? I won't let this go down and talk about midget ass. What was your favorite?
Bro, we got to Google some midget ass, because that shit is
By the
probably
way, R.I.P. Vern
popping.
Troyer. While we're on the topic, R.I.P. Vern
He
Troyer.
died?
Yeah.
Yeah, like last week.
But is that guy a midget?
Yeah,
He was the midget,
He was
man.
mini me. He was mini me.
Yeah, but I thought he had like some medical condition that made him that way. Not like I thought he
Yeah,
had.
he was a midget.
I know, like, what the fuck are you saying?
Oh yeah, yeah. This thing called midget syndrome.
The fuck are you saying?
Nah, because he looked
He
too.
was my height when he was born, and he just gradually got
yeah,
smaller.
like
Jack.
he looked too little, bro. And also he walked like a cowboy.
Who, Vern?
Yeah, you never see him.
He
walk.
was always ready for a draw.
He al-
He walked like a penguin.
no, when he walked, you know how like you're supposed to walk like this, right? But he would walk like this.
Like he's got spurs that he doesn't want to cut his feet.
Yeah, he walked like he just got off a little ass donkey, a midget donkey.
This will be the last episode of
I
Westworld.
know. Yo, like, nah, I'm not even gonna like. I would love to have midget on here so we could talk to him about it, because there's no hate. We gotta separate, and I feel strongly about this. We gotta separate a word and hate, right? Like, there's certain words
Okay,
that
Kanye.
come from hate. No, and I mean it. I'm on my Kanye shit. But there's certain words that come from hate. You don't say those ones because the only place that they come from is hateful. N-word, right? It comes from the Portuguese word for black, right? Americans did not speak Portuguese. So if you're calling a black dude the Portuguese word for black, you're using it in the same way as you use slave. That's what it comes from, right? Triangle slave trade, transatlantic slave trade. Boom. One reason for it. Don't say the word, right? But then other word, you got to be like, you can't say like cunt. Is that a bad word? Do you know what a cunt is?
No, isn't it another word for vagina?
It's the sheath for a sword.
What?
The sword goes into
the fuck is a
cunt. You
sheath?
take the
Sheath is
sword,
like
slide it
small
into the cunt.
The sword holder is called a sheath.
Yeah, like my dick is a sword and your pussy is the cunt. It's not hateful. There's nothing
Is
bad.
this where it comes from?
Yes, that's the definition. That's what I'm
all-
telling you. Like, there's a difference between hateful words and just factual words that we want to put hate on. I don't want to get too serious, but that's all I'm trying to say.
Gotcha.
Okay? And if there's any midget cunts out there that want to be upset with us, you know what I mean? I don't know what to tell you. Okay. Okay, so my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah.
My favorite part of the movie. Let me try and see. Fuck, do you have one? I got to think about that one.
I don't have a favorite part. My favorite thing about the movie was the dynamic between Hemsworth and Chris Pratt.
Oh, so
Great.
good.
That was that shit was fucking fantastic. That shit was buddy cop. I just want to see them in like a buddy cop movie.
Oh, they're great.
Take
they
them,
signed, like, 3
put them
movie
in the
deals just in that one scene.
and I'm in for all of them. They were so good together. It was so funny. It was so entertaining. It was 2 movie stars being movie stars on the screen together, feeding off each other. Fantastic.
And let me double down on that. A couple things I liked about that. One, Chris Pratt is handsome,
Yeah,
but next to Hemsworth,
he's just regular.
he gets to be regular guy, and he is
And Chris Pratt blew up because he was like
Regular
the fat,
guy.
chubby guy in Parks and Rec. He was like the sidekick, and then he became this movie star buff guy, all cut
Jurassic
out.
Park, Save the Day, etc.
Yep.
But when he's with Hemsworth, he gets to go back to
gets to
being
go- and it's
almost
great.
self-deprecating,
Yep.
regular, kind of funny guy. And it's interesting how they realize, just how Marvel realized a Hulk is not a lead character. Maybe they realize, hey, Star-Lord or this guy, what's his name in real life again?
Chris Pratt.
Pratt is actually funnier when he's self-deprecating, when he's going through something emotional, when he's the butt of the joke. That is his comedic sensibility. Right? Hemsworth is funny when he is unaware of himself. From the first fucking Thor movie, when he drinks the cup of coffee, he goes, "This is delicious," and he drops the mug and it just breaks. I'll have another. Right? That, like him just being fish out of water, unaware alien. Is where his humor comes. And you bring those two together. I don't know whose fucking decision it was. I cannot fathom that it was written by a writer. But for him to adjust his voice,
What do you think it was written by?
I think it was a choice by Pratt.
I think you're going to say some algorithm.
No. Like, I just don't like. Look, don't get me. There's genius fucking writing in
No,
this.
'cause that's
but
part of
that's
the-
a,
I mean-
that's a character decision.
Yeah.
Like, and I think he was like, "Yo, what if I try to match your voice and then we play off it?" It just seems so natural and organic. Like, I don't think you can write that on a piece of paper and then have that flow out there. But that scene did what, like, I think they'll call in sketch. They call it the game. In a couple like sketches that we've made, like we found the game. Right, we did this sneakerhead sketch back in the day, and the game, it's kind of fucked up, was the idea that we cared more about our sneakers than this guy who's being violent with his chick. But we're like cleaning our sneakers, and the more we cleaned our sneakers and tried to not crease them and do this stuff during this violence, the
I've seen this video.
funnier. Yeah, you saw it. The funnier it gets. Same thing happened in that scene. The game was the voice,
Right.
and it was fucking magical to see that shit just.
Yeah. And one of the cool things they did was like, so each of these movies, each of these characters that are coming in have had their own movies. They have distinct styles. So like Guardians is definitely more comedic. Thor Ragnarok was more comedic, but before that, Thor took itself like overly seriously.
Yeah, Thor and Guardians is the same thing to me.
Yeah. So what they did was they brought in James Gunn, who wrote the first 2 Guardians movies, and they had him write the scenes that the Guardians are in. And they would have, like, to my understanding, they would have the writer of Black Panther come in and write Black Panther dialogue. And they don't get credit for the scenes, but, like, they came in and touched up their own things, which
Okay.
was perfect. Because
That's fucking genius.
Yeah.
Every superhero movie should do
That
that.
is
Yeah.
like it's little shit like that that makes.
It's in the
that's why
DNA
of the
Marvel's
level
winning.
thing
Like
because-
it's little shit like that.
Why would you have someone else write the character that we already love when it's written in this one?
Yeah.
way?
Right. And that goes back
That's
to,
great.
like, you know, in comic books, when there's a storyline, like, they'll bring back the writer of that comic storyline.
Good.
Like, in this, it's genius because what makes this universe so special is that there's different minds for different characters, and they're doing different things, and they're bringing them all together, and they still have that distinct style and that distinct characteristics that each of them have. In this
Instead of
movie.
DC, which is every character is
In
exactly
DC,
the
it's
same.
just Ben Affleck being like, let's just put a movie together.
Literally
You know?
every character is the same.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Ben Affleck. I'm somber. Hi, I'm wet Ben Affleck. I'm Aquaman. I'm somber. Hi, I'm Angry Superman. I'm somber.
It would have been better if they just did Justice League in Boston. Like, each character was a different Boston. Like, if the Joker was from Boston, he's like, "You want to know how I got these fucking scars, dude?" He's like, "Check out these fucking scars. I got them down in fucking South." I was chilling at fucking Dunkin', and all of a sudden this guy just fucking stabbed me.
That'd be great.
That's a Justice League I want to see. Just like Justice League meets the town. Like when I heard Ben Affleck was going to direct Justice League, I was like, I'm down. I'm down. Boston Justice League, let's go.
Yo, that's what it missed.
That's what it missed.
totally
That distinct style. If it had his own like stylistic touch, it'd be fucking awesome.
He's fucking Superman. How are we
Look at
gonna
this
stop
fucking
him? How are you gonna stop Superman? He's fucking Superman. He's super strong. What do you want me to do?
Yeah, exactly.
Wahlberg. Everybody else is Wahlberg.
Everybody's Wahlberg. There's just 7 Wahlbergs.
Yo, every other character got to be
like, I'm not a crop.
Look,
I'm not a crop. I'm not a crop.
Listen,
You're
he's
a fucking
Superman.
crop.
Yeah, I'm the Flash. I'm really fast, but I'm not Superman.
He's just like, not you, 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 not you. Like an hour and a half.
Oh God.
Anyway.
All right, I got a question.
I don't know what my favorite team is. I know what my favorite line in the movie was.
Go ahead, hit it.
What's that?
Where's Gamora? Who is Gamora? I'll do you one better. How is Gamora?
Yo, Batista.
That was good.
Yo,
That was
son,
good.
Batista had me howling, and then the other shit when he was going, I'm moving so slowly that you can't even see me, and then Chinese girl comes in, she's like, hi Drax, and he goes, damn it.
Dude, you were on it, I think. Did we talk about Guardians 2, or we were talking about Guardians, and you said Bautista is like low-key the best actor in that whole.
Oh yeah,
But like I didn't.
Guardians
see it then.
1.
Guardians 1. In this, he's so fucking funny. He got the most laughs, like the uproarious fucking laughter in the theater. And I read this thing about all the different actors were doing press junkets, and they were talking about their costumes and how difficult they are. He's the only one. Everybody else has like CG elements, or like they
It's
actually have to wear
just
the
him
shit.
that they paint.
They just paint over his ridiculous fucking Jack's
Physique,
body.
yeah.
And apparently every day after he's done, of like a 12-hour day, he has to sit in a sauna for like a fucking hour and just sweat out the makeup that's
Oh,
like
wow,
in
that's
his
crazy.
fucking body. Like it's just like in his pores. And every day, like after I heard that, I was like, he's the most dedicated fucking one of all of them. Like,
Yeah, and a lot of times he's just in the background until he
He's
says
just-
one line.
and you don't even
Imagine you
realize
had
how
all
valuable
that
he is.
makeup, and he saves scenes.
Yeah.
He does. No, he is Thor. If Thor didn't have to be grounded, Thor
Yeah.
has to be slightly grounded, right? Because he has a storyline to carry, and you're following
Yeah,
him. Drax has nothing
he's
to
just like
uphold.
that third guy who's just there.
You don't even know his superpower. I don't
Yeah.
even think he has superpowers. He's just
He's
blue.
just like Destroyer.
Yeah,
Drax the Destroyer.
yeah, but like against, like when he went after Thanos, and you were like, remember when he was about to go attack him?
Yeah, and he just
you were
gets
like,
cut into like a weird like.
Yeah, he turns
Twizzler.
into like little blocks or
Yeah.
some shit. But he's like, but I was thinking, what exactly is his skill? He's just gonna just go. He's like a Viking.
He's just like always on revenge. He's like, "You killed my mom."
Yeah,
He's like running after.
but there's no skill, right? Like he has no superpower. There's no reason
Yeah.
for him to even be there.
yeah.
Anyway, okay.
I had a question.
Go.
Okay. When they're in Wakanda, right,
Mm-hmm.
and the dogs, whatever, they start running around, and
Mm-hmm.
they're like, "Oh, we can't let them get behind us. We have to open the barrier,
Yeah.
the shield."
Yeah.
Why couldn't they get behind them? Like, why couldn't half the army just turn around? Like, why the fuck did they open that shield? Why the fuck was T'Challa so? Why is he so bad?
Bro,
This just
Did I
reinforces.
not say that in the
this
first
yo,
fucking thing?
you
Did
were
I not
right.
say-
This
He's
just
got one thing that's good: the walk.
That
He got a
walk.
nice walk.
And he's
He
always
got
walking
this.
out of a ship.
Yeah, he is.
I'm like the whole. I'm like just
shoulders
like,
moving.
what-
He got mad sass.
No, because is there a reason? Like, did I miss something?
No,
So-
what my understanding
Yeah,
was
go.
they opened up a little window in the thing to just flood everybody in one direction.
No,
No,
he
but no.
understands it, yeah.
But they were running around. They're like, "Oh, we can't let them get behind us, or else we
They
won't
can
see
get
them."
in, so they can get in, right? They can get in through the shield. The shield isn't impenetrable,
Right.
Because you can dig under. Some of them like force it open, and then got through.
Did they show all this?
Yeah, they showed it. Now,
didn't
you
see that.
but if a couple get in, they can stop them and kill them.
Right.
So they were thinking, yo, if
If
they
they're
go
com-
around back, we don't have anybody to kill them. You're like, why don't we just send some
just,
people back?
you have a
in?
whole fucking army. Just hey, back half, turn around, block,
Exactly.
hold down that
Yeah,
side.
I agree with you. It makes even more sense if you
Instead of being like, because it took them like, they've never. It just took like 10 seconds for them to be like,
Yeah.
all right, open it up and let him in. And they
I'll
were
tell
just
you
like,
why they did it, so that there would be a battle.
obviously, but it's just like, it was just dumb, man. It was
Yo,
just dumb.
There was a couple things that I think were pretty dumb.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be the hater guy.
Right.
But here's the one that I thought was the dumbest. First scene of the movie, and maybe they'll bring it back maybe they'll bring it back in part 2, and then I can shut my mouth. First fight scene, one of the first fight scenes in the movie. those aliens that are Thanos' like workers come down. They fight Doctor Strange. Who else?
Thanos' children.
Yeah, Thanos'
Yeah.
children fight Doctor Strange.
Tony
Stark.
Bruce Banner, but he can't get Hulk out.
And Bruce Banner, but he can't get
He's
Hulk out,
having
right?
erectile
And the
dysfunction.
Chinese Doctor Strange.
Wong.
Yeah.
If you saw Doctor Strange, you love Wong.
Yeah, no, I like Wong. He's chill.
Meanwhile, he's just like watching this whole thing, like from the Sanctorum.
Yeah, he's just chilling.
just, like,
He's not doing
chilling,
shit. He's
like,
up
the
in the,
whole movie.
he's chilling at the fucking. Anyway, so what they did was what was really cool. They'd open up a space portal.
Yeah.
And they'd force the guy through there, and then he ended up in the mountains.
Yeah.
In the snow.
Yeah.
And then he reached his arm to try to come back, and they closed the space portal, and they cut his arm right below the elbow. Now, end of the movie. They've got Thanos in a daze with the Chinese girl.
Oh, wow.
They're trying to manually pull the glove off of his hand.
Mm-hmm.
Why
Just cut that shit off.
don't they open the space portal, cut that shit off? Whoever's holding the glove goes in the space portal as well, and they take the glove off the hand, and then they don't have to worry about shit.
Interesting. I think because in order for that, whatever we saw, again, this goes back to Doctor Strange's plan. Maybe that was one of the million outcomes, and maybe that didn't ultimately get to saving Thanos. You know, he went through a million possibilities.
That's such
Maybe-
a good bit. Like, oh, we could have did that, but Doctor Strange saw it didn't work. Like,
Yeah, it's
Right,
like
right.
every logical. Nah, Doctor Strange saw
there's
it
no
didn't work.
logical
it's so good.
fallacies anymore in
Yeah.
the movie
But
because
in that,
Doctor
it's like
Strange saw
everything's
it all.
happening for a reason because
Yeah.
he saw this one outcome. So
Yeah.
to me,
Maybe
it's
he
like,
looked at those outcomes a little quick. Maybe he missed
Maybe he missed
another
a
one.
bunch, yeah.
Where they just chop off the fucking hand
Sure,
and then
yeah,
they
yeah.
control their own galaxy. Because once you have that hand, you're good to go.
True. I mean, my whole thing is, look, a movie like this, the fact that we even have this, I'm like, fuck, I'm not even going to take the energy and time to fucking think about all this.
I'm not knocking it.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah,
having the discussion like us here and the people that are listening.
I
Because I'm
walked-
sure they saw certain things about the movie that they were like, they could have buttoned that up. That was very easy to button up.
Sure.
And you gave us the example of it in the first part of the movie.
True.
So my feeling is, come the second part of this, that's how they get the glove off.
Probably. It could be.
And then they gave us that little Easter egg or whatever they call
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And then we get the payoff in the second movie. Because there's no way you show the guy's arm get chopped off right below the elbow, and then you have the opportunity to do it at the
Yeah.
end, and then you're manually trying to pull.
He was also dropping, I think he had other portals going on during that battle. Like, he dropped Mantis in onto his shoulders. So maybe he was doing other fucking shit when that was happening. I don't know. I want to defend it because, like,
Yeah.
I just fucking love this movie. When I walked out of this was the first time out of any of these 10 years of fucking Marvel superhero movies where I walked out and I was like, it stuck with me. Like, normally you have an ending and there's like maybe an end credits thing where you're like, oh, that's going to happen eventually. This was like, there were stakes and the shit happened, and whether or not it's going to all be reversed, which it probably will be, and like whatever. I left that theater and I was like, holy shit, I'm carrying like a lot of shit coming out of this movie, and this was like a fucking blockbuster superhero movie. Like, I'm not supposed to carry shit. I'm supposed to just be like, that was fun.
Well, it ended on a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
That to me, like that's one of the dopest parts about this movie. It's like it ended like a TV show,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It ended like a season of Game of Thrones would end, where you're just like, oh shit, like I can't believe I gotta wait this long. When is the next movie coming out? Today or
A
not?
year from the release date of this. Like,
So-
exactly a year.
So the cool thing is they filmed
Like,
both at the same
Yeah,
time,
yeah, and they didn't tell. They gave the actors like just their scenes, so no one actually knows what's
which
gonna
is in the
happen.
first one, which is in the second one.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, that's
And
brilliant.
the dude who plays Spider-Man, Tom Holland, when he
He's
did-
really good.
really good. When he did the
It's
Spider-Man
adorable when
movie,
he died.
Isolated,
Boring.
he would do the press junkets, and he would just spoil everything like in the interviews, and they'd be like, "All right, we got to shut this dude down." And there's a compilation online of him and Benedict Cumberbatch, who plays Doctor Strange, and they asked him a question, like knowing that Tom Holland's gonna say some shit, and he starts talking about it, and Benedict Cumberbatch cuts him off. He's like, nope, can't talk about that shit. Can't talk about that shit.
That's awesome.
Can't talk about that. But yeah, they all had. No one knows what. I think they all probably saw this movie and were like, "That's what that scene was." They're just looking at like a bunch of.
crazy.
They're all on like a stage with a bunch of blue and green screens around them, being like, I guess we're together now. Like, I guess.
Oh, that's right. That's something that people don't realize. Like when they're filming this, they're not in Wakanda.
Exactly.
When they're filming this, they're in a fucking what Jack is describing as a stage. They're in front of a big green screen.
Yeah.
Right. So they don't know what the background is. There
Right.
might be a couple things in the green screen that they can work around.
Right.
But these elaborate backgrounds that you see, these spaceships and all that kind of shit, a lot of times there's
That's all in post.
absolutely nothing. It's put there in post, and they're just given spots that they have to hit. So it's very plausible that they don't even know.
They didn't even know what Thanos looked like. You know, it was just Josh Brolin.
That's
like,
right.
You know, they had to look probably above him.
Yeah, that's another question. Like, how do they give a mark for?
Yeah, so like for Hulk is like 10 feet high or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
It would be Mark Ruffalo in complete mocap with a GoPro with all these little dots on his face, getting his facial patterns. But above him is a tennis ball on a stick,
And that's
they just
your-
have to look at that. So like for Thor Ragnarok in the behind the scenes, Thor. Was talking about how the guy who plays Thor was talking about how he had to look like this. It'd be like if we were doing a scene together, and instead of looking in your eyes, I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah. He said it was so hard because he couldn't fucking. You can't read anything off of a tennis ball.
For sure.
You just have to assume what the fuck's happening. But
Best opening scene of any superhero movie I've ever seen.
well,
What was
within
the opening scene?
we can talk about it. Within the first 10 minutes, fucking Loki dies.
With
Like,
not only Loki, Idris Elba.
Idris Elba dies. Yeah.
So within the first 10 minutes of the movie, you get Hulk fighting and getting his fucking ass kicked like MMA style. You have Loki courageously defending his brother and dying, and Idris Elba courageously opening up a portal to send Bruce Banner to Hulk back, but also dying. Like, that could be the end scene of a lot of Marvel movies.
Yeah.
And they gave that
They
to
couldn't
us.
even do that in any of the Thor movies.
Bro,
They did it in the first scene of this movie. Yeah.
think about that.
yeah.
And just to put it in perspective, that spaceship is a spaceship that left Ragnarok, right? Or that left Thor's...
Yeah, so at the end of Ragnarok, the end credit scene, which is probably the most meaningful of all the end credit scenes now that we have it in context.
I missed that shit.
Is like, we were talking about it when we did this podcast about Thor Ragnarok, is like, we didn't know what that ship was, right? So like, Thor Ragnarok's fun, and it's a fun time, and they leave. Ultimately, Ragnarok is that giant apocalyptic beast that just destroys
Dumb,
Asgard.
stupid, yeah.
They all leave on a boat. It's basically like the Ark, and as they're leaving, a giant ship shows up, and it turns out, as we realize in this movie, that that's Thanos' ship. And that he's already gone to another planet and gotten the first stone that he needs. Now he's looking for the rest. And so this picks up directly after that. And an important thing to note is that we don't see Tessa Thompson tying into Westworld. She plays Valkyrie.
Oh, yeah.
It's assumed that she escaped somehow. She's like going to come into the next movie. So.
Oh, so another
they're not
girl.
going to kill off the female.
Another chick is going to save the
They're
day.
not gonna yeah, exactly.
Let me guess. Another chick is going to save the day. Okay.
So, do you think Loki's dead? Do you think anyone's actually dead?
I think
No.
Loki, I think Vision, and I think Gamora are all dead. They're not coming back.
You don't think you see them again?
They died in very finite, distinct ways.
The
Vision.
Gamora death was kind of like you see like blood and
Done.
shit.
Done.
Vision's not
Done.
dead. Vision, they got all of Vision out of the Wakanda
Well, that's
chick.
the thing. They wouldn't have shown that. My question is, how much of Vision did they get out?
They got
Because
enough for Vision to be Vision.
to be Vision, or to be like what's the name of the?
Oh, they got enough for Vision to fuck that
why
Olsen
can't I
twin.
think of that? What's the name of the program for Tony
Yeah, I
Stark?
know who you're talking about. Philip. Stabler. What's his name?
Fuck. From all the Iron Man movies, he's the AI in the tech.
No, I know. You know,
I
it's,
don't even know what the fuck you're talking about.
Timothy. It's Timothy.
It starts with a
That's it.
fucking
Pierre. It's Pierre. It's Pierre. You don't remember when Tony
Jarvis,
Stark is like
Jarvis,
yeah,
Jarvis,
yeah.
Jarvis.
No, it's not Jarvis.
Jesus,
It's
Jarvis.
No,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Lansky.
Jarvis Landry.
Landry. No, it's no. I think
No,
it
it's
was
Jarvis.
No, it was Robert. I think it was Robert. You don't remember? Yeah, Iron Man would always be like, Robert, can you get those screens up so we can make some more Iron Man,
Hey,
please?
Jacob.
Yeah.
No.
Jarvis.
Jarvis,
That's a dumb name. It's not Jarvis. I think it was
Bartholomew.
no, it was Midget. Remember he was like he was like
It was Dingles. It was the
yeah,
Dingles.
he was like Midget, why don't you make some more Iron Man suits, you know? How many Iron Man suits do you think he makes?
Oh, dude.
Just thousands?
Incredible. That's what I loved about Iron Man 3, which I didn't love.
I
as
hated
much
that
as the
movie. It's just Iron Man suit
other.
movie.
He just pulled out every suit.
all the
and had
Iron
them
Man
all
suits.
fight.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm all
So,
worked up, and
all right.
I'm
I
dying
missed
of
the
heat.
Hulk.
Okay, yeah. So that's the other thing.
You wanted to see the Hulk, right?
Yeah.
I
So,
agree.
by not having the Hulk, the stakes are higher because the most immediate threat to Thanos is someone his size, which is Hulk.
Yeah, but he got his ass.
He got his ass kicked, and that's why he doesn't want to come
handed.
out. That's why he's hiding.
He's pussy.
He's a pussy.
Hulk is pussy, bro.
He's
You
like,
know,
no.
literally. It's like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Remember when he bodied Lou Ferrigno?
Uh-huh.
And Lou Ferrigno was the Hulk back
Yeah,
in the day,
yeah.
right? And I think that's what's happening. Like he didn't want to compete anymore because Arnold would just beast him. Like I
Yeah.
think he like psychological warfared him in those weightlifting competitions.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened in the opening scene.
Dude. So Arnold is Thanos.
Yeah, Arnold's Thanos.
Anyway, whatever. I agree with you. It'd be nice to see Hulk, but then I have no respect for Hulk after he got his ass kicked by Thanos.
He's gonna come back.
They'll save it.
Strong.
He'll do something big in the second movie.
You think?
But how? Like, he's not gonna have any impact.
No,
Yeah, if
he's
he's
gonna
not
come back
good.
stronger.
Yeah. They'll
So,
do
all right,
something.
How you
So
gonna make
do you
him
just,
stronger?
how do you just make him stronger?
Here's the thing. It's worth us talking about this now, right?
Okay,
so
go.
Now we've talked about the movie.
Yeah.
Obviously, everybody who's listening to this has seen the movie. It ends with half of the team, half of the Avengers, half of the human race, half of the universe being wiped out. It's important to note that everybody who survives, they're all the original Avengers. Somehow it just happens to be that it's the original Avengers that have survived, right? So all of these new characters that have done well in recent time, which is Black Panther, Spider-Man, those are all the future, right? They're all going to live. Marvel isn't going to kill off Black Panther that just set the record for highest box office in the world and set off a cultural revolution. Fucking Spider-Man, who's like set a whole new thing. They're coming back. Who's not coming back? Who's not going to be back after this next movie?
Tony Stark.
Boom, boom, possibly boom.
No.
I think he's going to be back.
Your boom 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 was
Just-
Robert Downey Jr., Chris Pine.
Say it because they can't see the thing
Yeah.
unless they
Oh,
watch
sorry,
the
sorry.
video.
Tony Stark,
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr., been doing it for 10 years. Chris Evans, who's been doing as many movies as Robert Downey Jr., but in a shorter period of time, so he's exhausted. I'm looking at it from a business standpoint.
Go,
So it's
go,
like
go.
contractually, what we saw with Logan was the first time that a long-term actor who's been playing a character dies, right? And everybody was like, holy shit, Hugh Jackman's done. He wanted out. He wants to move on with his career. He doesn't want to play Logan
Oh,
anymore.
that's interesting. He played it from beginning to end.
He played it from beginning to end.
That's cool.
That's what Robert Downey Jr. wants to do, right?
he retired with the same jersey, Kobe.
Exactly, yeah. And
Wow.
his jersey's retired forever, right?
Kobe retired.
Got nominated
Kobe
for an
retired
Oscar.
with a different jersey.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Ain't 24.
Well, same team.
I got what
Yeah.
you're saying. I got what you're saying.
Thanks, jerk.
I got
All
you.
right, maybe have a different jersey when he started the game. Then find a way to get it back.
So what I think is,
And you
ultimate-
think Thor's? You think Hemsworth?
I
is
think
gone?
Hemsworth could stay. I think he'll probably stay.
I
for
think
a couple
Hemsworth's
more.
got his swag right now. I think
Hemsworth
he's
might
gonna grow.
trans. So in the comics, it's the original Avengers and the new Avengers. I think what we're going to see in the next movie is the transition from what we know now as the Avengers to the new Avengers, and it's going to be all the new characters that we've seen in the last 5 years. But I think Thor has proved that he can handle his own. Like Ragnarok was like, if Ragnarok didn't happen, they'd be like, all right, let's get rid of Thor. But now Thor is like fucking
Killing it.
Yeah.
And him and Peter Quinn. You got to have them.
Peter Quill, yeah.
Quill or whatever. Yeah.
But I do think whatever happens in the next movie, you got to remember, obviously the time stone. You can rewind time. I think the next movie is going to be similar to like Back to the Future 2, where we see like it's actually very similar when you think about Back to the Future 2. Like they're looking at the photos and people are disappearing and they're like, oh shit, they're dead. You bring back time. You go back to the scenes from the original movie. They've already reported that like photos from on set of the second movie, even though they shot them back to back, a lot of these characters are in like their original costumes from the first movie. So I think what we're gonna see is like the second movie is gonna be jumping through time, getting different elements, doing all this shit, and ultimately it's gonna depend on these two giving their lives to save the rest and for the future of the universe and for the new Avengers.
You know who's the stupidest character in this whole thing?
Who?
That one-armed emo fucking soldier.
Yo, I love Winter Soldier, man.
Dude, Nine Inch Nails needs to fucking beat it. Trent Reznor. Dude, everybody else has superpowers. They're shooting lasers out of their fucking hands. There's an axe from the sky. And he's got an AK-47 with regular bullets, and he's trying to take people out. How are you even competing in this? He has no superpower.
Like in Wakanda, they couldn't give him a haircut.
Come on. Come
What's
on.
what's Scarlet's power?
She's just like she's
Period.
a spy.
Scarlet is the
You're talking about Scarlett
Witch.
Johansson, not Scarlet
No.
Witch.
Yeah,
Oh,
Scarlett
Johansson.
Johansson.
Yeah, yeah.
ScarJo, she's just like a hot spy.
Yeah.
In the first Avengers, you're like, oh, she's hot, and
So
she can, like,
she's not even stronger than a regular.
Bro,
she's got like
bro.
training, but
These nerds need someone to jerk off to, and it's not going to be
Ah.
fucking Captain America. So there's some tits.
here's the thing: this is how far we've come.
Yeah.
First Avengers movie, we couldn't even give the female Avenger powers. Now, female Avengers are fucking doing shit with their hands, levitation, and fucking.
Yeah, just. Yo, why her power got to be red? Do you know what I mean?
Scarlet.
Scarlet. Yo, her name is Scarlet. What is
Witch.
it? Scarlet
She's gotta
Witch.
be a witch.
That's what I call girls in their period, a Scarlet Witch. Right? Why are you acting like a Scarlet Witch? Dude, all this shit is Stan Lee upset that his wife was on his period. He's like, all right, give me another power. And let me guess. Okay, this is what she
could
could do.
You hear about the Stanley shit that's happening now? How he has all these allegations.
Oh, a
against
Me
him.
Too?
Yeah.
You always get a Me Too when you got some shit popping.
They're like, we can't not let Stanley go. But also, do you hear about the shit where someone stole his blood?
Stanley's blood?
Stanley is like old now. He's like towards the end of his life.
Okay.
And he's on bed rest, I guess. And some nurse went into his house, took his blood, saying that they were like needed a sample, and sold it on eBay.
For how much?
I don't know how much it sold for, but it was literally a vial of Stanley's blood.
Dude, we need to
fucking
put
weird.
whoever that is in fucking jail.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Dude,
it's
a
crazy.
vial of Stanley's old ass blood.
Yeah. But also, we should buy that blood.
No.
You know whose blood I would buy?
So I got a question.
Scarlet Witch. That's some powerful fucking blood.
Is
right
there
there.
any chance that Thanos and Killmonger connect in the second movie and win everything and they run and shit? Because that's really what I want to see happen.
Wow.
That's what I like to
Killmonger's
see
dead,
happen.
dude. Killmonger's dead.
Fuck.
Guaranteed dead?
Guaranteed that?
Oh, done. I mean, again, with the time travel element, not ruled out that we might see him in the next movie in like some weird reference.
Someone showed a picture where like he was in the background, but I'm sure they photoshopped his
Yeah.
face into that shit.
I anticipate the next movie we're gonna see all of these fucking people.
Is
in
Logan
capacity.
popping up?
No. If anything, Fantastic Four, because that's the new one that they're trying to redevelop into a franchise.
Beat it.
All right.
Beat it. Beat it. Okay. I mean, what's up? Is there anything else that we want to cover?
Anything else you want to do?
I'm all worked out, man. I'm
go.
hot too.
Yeah, it's
I'm
very
hot
hot.
Let's
in
move
here.
on. Let's move
Okay,
on to Westworld.
so that was our Avengers take. I think so at least for going on to the next movie, which comes out a year from now, I think we basically all agree where the time stone is going to be used, some shit is going to be run back, and then boom.
Listen,
that's
let's
what
be
it is.
real. You think Black Panther's dead?
No, Black Panther's not
Black
dead.
Panther's
We
not
know.
dead.
But I think
None
the
of them are dead,
reason
man.
why it's
None of
going to
them
be
are dead.
used, and I think this is important, I think that Thanos is going to feel immense guilt over killing his daughter, Gamora. Because when he's sitting on that thing and he's looking out in the world, he's like, I saved it. There's still some like longing, some missing. So I think he's going to be even more humanized, right? Right? He's like, I killed this person, the one person that I loved. I loved really nobody else. I didn't even love the other daughter that I turned into a fucking robot, who's kind of hot as a robot. It's the first, like, I know the chicks on Westworld are all robots, and like I'd fuck them because I know they're really
Prefer
humans.
them to have robotic.
Oh, but that robot bitch is fine. Dude, imagine you're busting that open and all of a sudden her eye pops out of her fucking head. Like, that's some good dick. You know what I mean? That's way better than an, oh, God. While your eye's still in your head.
All right,
But,
while we're on it, I wasn't
but real
gonna go
quick,
here.
real quick. So what I will say is this. I think that he's going to be racked with immense guilt, and he's going to run it back because he wants to have that kind of maybe another moment with his daughter, and then while running it back, all of a sudden these superheroes pop up again, and then maybe they have a chance to do it. Okay, what I will say about that is very interesting is, would Scarlet Witch run it back had she had the power and save Vision?
Of course you would.
I don't think she would. No, meaning like if she had to kill Vision
and
to save the
knowing
world.
outcome, knowing the outcome.
Knowing the outcome. I don't think she. And would Peter Quill run it back to not kill Gamora after he always saved the world? No, they have to live with the murders that they've committed, right? So in a way, Thanos has even more compassion for the people he loves than the superheroes. That's if that is what happens. All I'm saying is, I think this next movie is gonna really humanize Thanos, and it's gonna mind fuck the audience, man.
I don't think it
can't wait
can.
for that to
I don't
happen.
think it can.
Here's one.
What do you mean?
I think he has to go bad. Like you can't.
Because you can't kill a good guy, right?
Yeah.
Before anybody dies in any movie, they always like hit a woman or they fucking say something racist or whatever. You're like, oh, okay, I can kill that guy. But so he needs to do something super fucked up. Don't get me wrong. Maybe he kills the sister. Don't worry, he'll have something that will let our
He
stomachs.
killed Iron Man. if you kill
digest.
Iron Man and Robert Downey is done,
Yeah.
Then it's justifiable.
Then you're like, he killed
Done.
Robert Downey Jr. He's
That's
never
it.
coming back.
Yeah.
And then you're never forgiving him. But I will say this. I wasn't going to talk about this because this is out there. I was looking into
Go.
theories. This is one of the theories that it would be crazy if they did it. I think it's too complicated for them to even do. Let me ask you a question. What if we know that the Reality Stone can bend what we perceive as reality, and that's
Okay.
to the audience, right? Like, even the audience, we're not entirely sure what's happening when it's happening, especially at the end. Thanos snaps his fingers, right? At the snap of a finger, what happens? It cuts to him, and he's in the soul world where he saw Red Skull from Captain America, which is a cool little thing. And he sees a teenager, like very little Gamora, who's saying, "Is it over?" What did she say? She says, "Was it worth it? What did you spend? What was the cost?" And he says everything. And then next time we see him, he wakes up on his farm and he's doing the thing he wanted to do, which is looking at the sunrise. What if at the snap of that fingers, he's actually put into like a limbo? He's actually put into like some place between heaven and hell, and he's stuck. What we see at the end of that movie of him looking at the sunrise, he's doing that every single day. He's just stuck in that continuum, and the people that we think die, they actually survive. So like Spider-Man, who's like fading away, he's actually living, and the Avengers that are left are actually stuck in that limbo, in that world. And so what is that limbo? People have theorized that the Soul Gem, that big yellow one in the middle of the gauntlet, if you look into the comic books and into the powers of the Soul Gem, they can actually bring things into the gem, like into the reality of the gem.
So they're all in the gem.
They could all be in the gem. And all the people that we think died actually survived. And it's all, the second movie is all about getting out of the gem. Which
That
is
would
like
be
the,
fire.
But there's a lot of that. I read that
All
and I
right.
was like, that'd be crazy if they did that. But I don't know if they would be able
That'd
to
be
pull
fire.
that off.
We'll see if it happens. Okay, that was the Avengers portion. That would be wild. Westerbros.
Westworld.
This is Westerbros.
This is Westerbros, the podcast. We're going to talk about Westworld. Okay?
All right,
Do we wanna
episode
do
2.
One long ep? Or?
Yeah, let's just do one long app, right?
Yep.
I think so.
Yep.
What do you think?
Yeah, one long ep.
Yeah, I think one long app.
How long
that
are we at
cool?
right now?
Yeah.
Like an hour?
Yeah, 110.
Oh, good.
right.
And we'll do, I mean, it's not that long.
Yeah. technically.
Okay, Westworld, episode 2.
All right, what'd you guys think? What'd you guys
I finally, let's go. First episode, I wasn't that into it. Maybe I was kind of tired. Episode 2, it's like, oh, this is why this is one of my favorite shows ever. It's unbelievable. They set this, they set the foundation with episode 1, and I think it's such a complex show that it took a little time to do. But I
think?
love
It got
it.
even more complex.
But to me, I started to understand what was going on. And I felt like I understood the characters a little more, and it played on themes that I was really interested in, right? Which is this idea of free will. And,
Ties right into Kanye.
right? Yo, real talk. What's up with that?
Speaking of, man, they played Runaway.
And they played
Yeah,
fucking
they
Runaway
played
in it,
Runaway
dude. There was
in
a
it.
lot of things that were going.
Very timely.
Yeah.
Here's a Kanye hot take. Here's a Kanye hot take to go with the theory that like this is all.
Simulation.
Well,
He talks
no.
a lot about simulation.
Well,
theory.
yeah, but this is all like part of his plan. You know what I mean? That he's aware of all this. Like he calls, I don't know why Kanye's a genius. Like he calls himself Disney. He calls himself Howard Hughes. He calls himself like I don't know what he calls himself Steve Jobs. But like I don't know what his iPhone is. What is your iPod?
His iPhone is every album he's put out, and the.
All right, people have put out good albums. He
No,
hasn't
no,
put
no.
out a better album
No.
than the people who the best music that's ever
we
been
need to
put
set this
out.
straight. The reason why Kanye is a genius is because he's the greatest contemporary artist of the last 20 years. Contemporary recording artist of the last 20 years.
Is he?
Yeah, I think so.
C.
I think if you all right, here's the thing. I've seen Kanye 3 times live. First time I was like,
That
holy,
like it's more than just the music; it's everything.
it's everything.
What is his iPhone?
His whole
Design is his iPhone. Design of music.
Okay.
Design of sneakers. Design of
I'm glad you
stage.
say his
I'm
design.
glad,
Stage.
I'm glad you mentioned that. Okay. What I see Kanye is, I don't see him as I think he's an elite musician, but what I think he is more of a merchant. And what merchants would do is they would take things from their homeland, right? Spices, fragrances, clothes, these types of things, or take things from other homelands that they traveled to, and they bring it back to their community or other communities. They basically service a new community with something that they haven't really found yet. And when I look at Kanye, right, and I see Kanye, he goes, "Who was wearing pink T-shirts before me?" All the people that were wearing pink T-shirts. You didn't invent the pink polo T-shirt. They were wearing that in country clubs for fucking years, and you saw some white people wearing it. You're like, I'm gonna make this cool for black people in hip hop, right?
Okay.
And then you saw grunge clothing from Seattle and Portland and the Northwest, and wearing these ripped sweaters and stuff like that, right? And you're like, you know what? I'm gonna make that also cool for hip hop. And then the skinny jeans, and then you took dad sneakers, and who wore that? Just these old fucking white dudes. Now you're gonna make it cool for hip hop. You didn't create any of these things. What you did is you used your equity within hip hop to make them cool. So is it surprising, after making all this other white shit cool, that he's trying to make Trump cool? Is it shocking, or is it right along the Kanye stream, as he would say? That is the stream that he has been on. Now, we've looked at it, or some people looked at it like, this is the most miraculous thing. Oh my God, this guy's such a genius. I mean, to my knowledge, a lot of the music that he's making, he's sampling. So it's not even his music he's entirely creating. Like,
Yeah, but that's like discrediting an entire.
who's
genre of
Mozart? Who's
music.
Who's Mozart sampling?
Mozart was basically sampling other artists that were around at the time that he was just like, if you look at everything, if you look at Westworld already existed. This is a resampling of something that already happened. If you look at everything and you break it down.
But I'm not calling Jonathan Nolan a genius. I'm not calling
Right,
him one of the greatest. Nobody's going, Jonathan Nolan is Disney.
Here's the thing.
They're like, no, he's really good at what he does. He's an elite filmmaker.
Kanye as a hip hop artist, like hip hop as a genre, is the foundation is based in sampling and is in taking things from a different time and a different place and molding it into a new thing, right? And packaging it into a new story to tell that is timely but also recalls old time. That's what a sample is. You're taking something from the 70s and making it relevant in 2018.
I'm not knocking the idea of the sample. I mean, let's all share everything. I think it's great. I'm just saying, I need to know, before I put you up there with jobs, I need to know what your iPhone is.
He's been screaming for years.
iPhone wasn't
He wants to do so much more. And he hates being limited to an artist, a rap artist. He wants to get into fashion. And then he has all these ideas in his head. Yeah. That's what he's talking about. He's a designer and a creator, and he hasn't been given the opportunity to do these things. And that a few years ago, when he was on his just like angry interview tour, that's what it was about. And now, with the interview with Charlemagne, it seemed like he was kind of taking steps forward to kind of doing this. Whatever this 300 acres he's got out there in Calabasas, and he's going to build and do this. And it seems like he's starting to get to where he thinks he's going to go.
I would say one more thing on the Steve Jobs note is like the critics of Steve Jobs say that what has he really done?
Yeah.
It's the same thing you're saying about Kanye right now. Steve Jobs didn't invent the smartphone. He just took the technology that was available at the time. There was other touchscreens. Remember the Palm? Remember when?
Yeah, of course.
And
he just made it better.
Accessible to the masses, and said
he
said, "I want 10,000 songs on the iPod."
Right.
He made that.
It wasn't the first MP3 player,
but he said, "I want 10,000 songs."
But what
he made the idea.
What he said was, "I want to put 10,000 songs on the iPod, but I want everybody to be able to know how to use it instantly. I want it to be accessible to everyone."
Yeah. So
and
what is
Kanye's doing?
What?
And he wanted it to look cool.
With what?
With everything.
But he didn't. But he's not the first person to make good music or popular music.
No, but he's consistently done it for the last.
Yeah. So have a lot of musicians. So has Michael Bolton.
But Michael Bolton didn't also make the hottest sneakers 4 times, and Michael Bolton didn't also.
Michael Bolton doesn't have.
Michael Bolton didn't change the way tours are done, because Kanye changed the way. Glow in the Dark tour changed the way tours are done. After that, everyone was just like, "Holy fuck, we can't just have a screen here. You have to have a whole fucking setup."
So you truly believe that nobody else had an elaborate tour before Kanye
No,
West?
but he just takes
these shows.
He just takes it and then made it next level.
It's not just the tour; that's part of the whole package. But it's basically like everything that he does has meaning behind it. It has something behind it that is a part of the experience of Kanye, including everything that we're seeing now.
Y'all can't say one thing that he's done that is completely innovative.
I've told you every piece of music that he's put out
is completely innovative. Because what I think his strength is I think he's an elite musician, and I'll give him that credit. And if you want to call him a genius producer of music, I'll give you genius producer of music. But to act like he's fucking Steve Jobs, to act like he's,
we don't say that he says that.
I know, but like I think people, they drink the sauce. And furthermore,
and the same reason why I'm not getting bent out of shape over his crazy shit. I mean, he's saying shit that I don't agree with, but it's still just like, I love the content you create.
I can also say
Right?
I can also
I
tell-
don't take everything Kanye says as
Yeah.
gospel.
I can also
right?
tell you why I think that he loves Trump, because he sees,
He only likes Trump
sees
because
himself in
Trump is a egotistical maniac like Kanye,
Well-
and he talks shit and he's doing it, and Kanye's like, man, I wish I could do that shit. I'm gonna do that shit.
Here's why I think he loves Trump, right? Is because every industry Kanye has gotten into, right? He's been at first written off.
Yeah.
They told him he
He's
can't do
been looked over, and people said he couldn't do it. I mean, even Jay was like, "Yeah, I think you're a producer, but yeah,
100%.
spit
We're
a
not
couple
gonna let you
bars.
rap, yeah.
Nobody, you got to do it." And then he has dominated
Mm-hmm.
that industry, music, fashion, whatever else
Whatever
that
he's
you
gonna
want it
do
to
next.
be. It has happened,
Mm-hmm.
and Trump is someone who is never taken seriously.
Everybody said he couldn't do it.
Everybody said he couldn't do it. His own party said he couldn't do it. And while talking reckless, just like Kanye talks reckless, he defeats the odds and wins.
100%.
So he sees
He
himself.
respects Trump's accomplishments.
He just sees Trump as a mirror of him. He's like, oh, I'm this person that he's this person that's misunderstood. I'm this person that's misunderstood. He's this person that people fuck with, but the execs and shit are afraid of. I'm this person that the execs are afraid of, etc.
Right.
And I think he realized, oh shit, it goes right along with what I've been doing for the last 20 years, was we've been taking like culturally white shit and introducing them to black people who weren't as familiar with it and making it cool for black people. Well, fucking let me ride this wave. I bet I could do it.
Yeah.
I bet I could really test I wonder if it's on some level some ego shit like, yo, you know how dope Kanye is?
Maybe.
Kanye could take the shit that there's no way black people will wear some old ass dad shoes? Bet, watch. Oh, there's no way black people wear some old grunchy ass sweatshirts? Bet, watch. No way black dudes wear pink fucking polos? Bet, watch. No way black dudes want to make America great again? Hold my beer.
No, that's
I
definitely.
think on some level that's what this is.
Listen,
it's ego.
I'm not
B.
ruling that out. I don't know if it's trolling. I don't know if it's that. I don't
It's
know
a
if
mix
he's.
of everything, man.
It's we have no idea.
Look. He.
But that's why he's the most fascinating celebrity that we have.
But he said that. Like,
What did he say?
No, he said pretty much what you said.
No.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
No, he
basically.
didn't.
Yeah, he said he doesn't really know his policy. He just
He doesn't know
gave
politics.
him
Oh,
the
he's-
confidence to run
That's
for
been
president.
utterly
Oh.
apparent that he doesn't know policy. And
Oh
anything
no,
like that.
But that's not what I said. I don't think he's been open about like, yo, what I do is I take that white shit and I make it.
Oh
cool
no,
for
I'm
black
just
people.
talking about just Trump in general. Like
Right,
he,
right.
it
yeah,
just
yeah.
he inspires
yeah,
him. To,
he feels
yeah.
inspired by it, and on some maybe he's aware of it, maybe he doesn't. I think that regardless of how you feel about elite musician.
Mm-hmm.
You want to say greatest recording artist the last 20 years? I'll go with that. That's fine.
Name me one better.
Fine. I'm cool with it. I'm totally fine with it.
Drake might take that from him.
Not in the same time span.
I think the argument would be like, is Drake?
Drake has more hits.
but
Drake has
does-
more hits than everyone. But would you say
but-
Drake's a better rapper than Jay-Z? And I know you won't. That's why I'm asking this
No,
question.
but you
Right?
wouldn't
But
say
Drake's got more
Kanye
hits than
is.
Jay-Z.
But you wouldn't say Kanye's a better rapper than Jay Z.
No,
Oh,
I
not
wouldn't.
even
I wouldn't
close.
say either.
Alright.
But just
But
as
I'm
an
not saying
overall
Kanye's
artist,
making the
same.
music. That's what inspires me about
Yeah.
Kanye. Is he actually makes, he produce. Like I think rap. I know this is gonna sound crazy, but like rap is easy. Anybody can rap. You know, Bad Baby can rap.
I don't know about that.
Fucking anybody can rap. Rap is the easiest thing in the world. No, it's easiest thing in the world.
All right.
No.
You ever see like some people do karaoke?
Don't make me rap for you right now.
No. What I
No,
mean,
no,
like-
no, no, no,
episode,
no,
I
no.
had pure on
Jack, please rap for us.
Yeah,
right now.
please. rap. No, rap is all about personality. Like when we're talking about bars like Jay Electronica and shit like that, there's a reason Jay Electronica is the biggest rapper in the world. One, he put out an album, but two, nobody gives a fuck about bars. What we
talking
care
about
about, say what?
Who are you talking about?
Jay Electronica?
He never came out with the album.
Yeah,
Yeah, the album
there's
still
a
hasn't
reason.
come
That's
out.
why I said
Oh.
because he hasn't come out with an album.
Nah,
said there's a reason
that's
why-
him thing.
I said there's a reason why he's not the biggest rapper in the world. Maybe
yeah,
because
yeah,
he
yeah.
hasn't come out
I
with
thought
the
you said-
album
I thought
yet.
you said why he's the greatest.
No,
No,
even
no,
if he
no.
put out the album, he wouldn't be the biggest rapper in the
Exactly,
world.
nobody
because
cares
no
about
one-
bars.
Right.
What they care about is personality. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like rap is not that hard if you have a great personality. Like Cardi B, for example, we love her personality, right? And I actually really like her raps. She's pretty open that maybe she writes them, maybe she doesn't.
Kanye's the whole package, though. Kanye's got the
But
bars. when he
Kanye
wants
admits
to have-
that he has writers.
Yeah, but he's
But
got.
he
the bars
also writes.
when he wants
Sure.
to have the bars. He's got the beats when he wants to have the beats. Kanye's the whole thing. But here's what I would say.
And then let's talk about Westworld.
Yeah, sorry.
I got a little distracted.
no, I think this is important. We need to talk
Did
about
you
that.
record? You recorded Idiots.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, we already spoke. But there's a couple
Haven't
takes
seen-
I didn't get to get out.
And by the way, great for Charlemagne and for Van that that they
Shout
just
out to
happened do-
fucking Van,
Yeah,
man.
going for it.
What a come up.
Shout out to
How
Van.
how hyped was he about that?
Oh, I mean, he's doing great, man. He's killing it. That's like overnight celebrity.
That's he became an
He's a superstar,
overnight
yeah.
celebrity.
It's crazy.
200,000 Instagram followers.
Insane.
All
Just-
that shit. Jimmy Kimmel tweeting him.
Amazing.
DM.
insane.
He's killing. And,
And
he's ready. Like he's been on this shit for a minute.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
He was
he's been
ready. He
taking
knew-
these
he knew
swings,
what was happening.
and he knew exactly what he was gonna say. He had already, like he'd recorded a podcast earlier about how wrong it is what Kanye is saying, and then Kanye came in there and threw up a fucking softball, and he was ready. He knocked out of the park. You got to take advantage of those situations.
Shout out to Van.
Yo, shouts to Van, man. Great
Here's what I
dude.
will say.
But then real quick, and then we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, real quick.
Kanye's trash.
I think Kanye is incredible at purveying what he's feeling and what he has to say
No,
What?
I think it's the opposite.
Through-
I think it's the opposite.
through music, through his beats, through his lyrics, right? And through a vibe on a track, right?
Right.
But he's terrible. Absolutely. He's probably the worst person of all time at actually purveying what he's thinking and saying it and having a conversation with someone. That's
I
why
agree.
he had to have a controlled environment with Charlemagne. That's why he had to have an hour and 45 minutes to get. That's like a half hour worth of like notes. What you're taking out of that hour
Yeah.
and 45 minutes. It's like a half hour of like actual information. But Kanye just needs that much time to.
I don't
actually-
want to go too much into this because I've said this same point on Idiots.
Oh yeah, I didn't.
And now is the difference between TMZ and
The difference between TMZ
Exactly.
is
He's not a
it's not a
fast
controlled
thinker.
environment,
He's-
and
he's-
also
he's a
they were waiting.
slow thinker.
They were waiting for that exact. They got exactly what they wanted at TMZ. out of that
Sure,
to
they
happen.
set that up
But
perfect. Yeah.
the one thing I will say is Kanye does. I do think there's a plan, and I do think this is all part of it. There's a reason why he came back on Twitter. There's a reason why he released this track saying "poop de scoop" only for the rest.
Yeah,
of
because
the
he's got
lyrics.
an album.
Because he's got an album. Yeah,
That's
But,
why.
This is why he's doing all this. But also, I think Kanye has a message, and I think what's behind what he's saying is like.
Here's his message. I'm gonna make some more old white guy shit cool. All right, let's go. All right, let's talk Westworld.
Let's talk about the most important question we got to ask in Westworld.
Go.
Okay. How soon after meeting a robot would you have sex with her?
Immediately.
Because your man Logan was like, "Wait, you're oh,
Yeah,
so we have to
it's
fuck
fun.
now."
Absolutely.
Oh, Alex is on board. with
Immediately.
that?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
With that robot, yeah.
That's the first. You meet a robot. You meet an attractive robot woman, and the first
Yep.
thing you think of, oh, so we're gonna fuck.
You don't even have to have her finished assembled.
Just like beta.
You could literally have no legs attached yet on the robot, and I'd get head if there were arms there. Absolutely. If she, I would say, walk on your hands over to me. I'd go, Becca, turn on, or how do you do it?
Alexa,
Becca,
Alexa.
no, Becca,
are you
activate.
fucking your Alexa?
Hell yeah! I'd be dropping my dick off over there. I'd be like, Alexa, open your mouth. No, but I would absolutely in a fucking heartbeat. You wouldn't fuck that shit? Come on. Would you fuck a pocket pussy?
No, I just. Wait, what?
Would you fuck a pocket pussy?
Nah, I would fuck a robot though, like the robot chick.
But you
on
wouldn't fuck a
Westworld.
pocket pussy?
I don't think so.
You wouldn't just do like
I would
boop
just-
boop? De-scoop?
I don't know. Scoop. I don't know.
Yo, here's the question. When
Loyal
you-
to the hand, bruh.
Yo,
Loyal to the
you
hand.
Loyal to the hand? All right, here's the question. Do you nut in the robot?
Yeah, why not?
Out of respect
Yeah.
to the next man.
I
they go
assume
through
You know what
that
I mean?
process
I'm
every
sorry.
time. They
If
go
you're
through that
building a
cleaning
robot
process.
that
They clean it out
advanced,
every
Yeah,
time?
yeah.
Nah,
Nah,
Self-clean.
shorty, not
No,
real
it's
self.
self-clean.
Self-clean.
I don't want no
Has to
self-clean.
self-clean.
I don't want no
You don't
self-clean.
think Ford was
Son,
thinking about that shit?
It's
Shorty's
100%
there
they
the
thought
whole
about
day
that.
working at the whorehouse. Someone goes in, busts up in it, right?
Self-clean.
It self-cleans.
It's self-clean.
Yeah.
bro.
By the way.
I'm gonna need you to switch out the pussy.
No,
I'm gonna
because-
need it to rotate like a fucking revolver. You know, it just chick, new uterus, chick, new uterus, and then after
Maybe
six,
that's
you
what they
change
do.
it out.
Hey, maybe that's what they do.
I need fresh pussy, dog. Come on now.
Maybe that's what they do.
Come on now. But I would fuck a pocket pussy just for the experience. I would absolutely fuck one of these robots. But I get head. I don't want to fuck it. I want head. That robot head? But what if it malfunctions and just rips your cock off? Yo, real
Real
talk.
fear.
Or what if whatever, who's the guy, Anthony Hopkins?
Robert Ford.
Yeah, what if Robert walks onto the the Wild West set and just shuts all the robots down in 1 second? You know how he pulls a Thanos
And
with
you
that
get
shit?
stuck.
And you stuck with her mouth
And
On
like,
your
then you
joint.
gotta- Then you got to just sit there while like 3 workers come over and like
and
fry it.
extract.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, I hope she wasn't that locked onto it.
Yo, it
That's the
depends how
thing.
you get head, bro.
Hey, man,
You know what I mean? That shorty that
Probably
plays
a
the
setting.
piano.
There's a teeth setting. It's
Yo.
like how much teeth.
I need your teeth to just fall back into your jaw.
Oh man.
Did you were you annoyed that they had flashbacks or no?
Nah, I fucks with it.
Well, here's the thing. There's flashbacks in every episode. We just don't even
Fair.
realize necessarily.
Fair.
There's
Great point.
Multiple
flashback.
timelines. It's
Did you
almost
like?
more
Did you
clear.
like to sit like kind of seeing the outside world?
Yeah, I like the outside world. I like the little. I mean, it was annoying hearing her talk about how fucking. What was the stupid line? That fucking
Look at the glory.
the
The
splendor.
splendor.
Look at the
I
splendor.
just thought about robots probably have
Was that a line that
zero
was
gag
said in the
reflex.
past?
Zero gag reflex. Oh no, dude, they're headbutting that shit. That shit looks
that
like a
line
Marilyn
from something
Manson
from
concert.
season one or
It's gonna be
something?
amazing.
Probably.
What's that?
The look of
that
the
line.
splendor.
No,
I
he
feel
said
like that
it.
sounded familiar.
No, he. So what it was is like she goes and says it, and then they do another flashback to the first time that Jimmy Simpson says it to her.
Yeah.
So and that's where she kept it in her head.
And she also says it twice, and the second time to. Now this is the brilliance of this episode is like, it's really a prequel. It's the first time we're seeing Bernard, the original Bernard,
Real Bernard.
or Arnold, the real Arnold,
Yeah.
the human being Arnold, developing the early stage of Dolores before she's in the park. We're seeing
And disappointment because he really thinks he got that
He
bitch.
thinks he got it until she repeats what
she repeats
said,
the line.
and
He's like, "Oh,
fuck.
you're still a fucking robot."
And we get to
Oh, and the pitch.
The pitch is they're not, and that's ultimately what Arnold's whole fucking thing was. Is when he sees that splendor, the first look, he's like, "This should be the world. This should be what the world should be populated by these robots." And then when she malfunctions, he's like, "It's not ready."
Yeah.
And then ultimately, we see in season 1, he goes through the whole thing.
No, I'm talking about the pitch. Like when they pitch what
The dad.
Westworld is.
When he's like, it's the only place you'll be able to see.
Oh no, that's later. That's later.
That.
That's later. We're gonna get into that because what I loved about this episode, it gets into something that's very, very relevant right now, which is data collection.
Yep.
Right. And but we'll get back to that in a second. Right. But the pitch to sell the product, they had the son, who was Jimmy Simpson's brother-in-law, and he was there, and they basically pitched him on what Westworld was, and they send him into this room of people, and they say, "Go find the AI." Right? And then he finally goes back to the girl. He goes, "No way, you're the AI? Oh my God, you're so good." And then they stop everybody. And it turns out everybody in the room was the AI.
Then they have an orgy.
Boom, orgy, fucks it all.
Right.
Right? Dudes there too. That was a little wild.
Yeah.
All that.
You know what I mean? I wonder if he got that script like I got my gay script. And I was like, huh, interesting.
They're like, they're all robots, right? They're like, nope.
Okay. Because you could tell them to leave, but you wanted them there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and then you go in the situation where the father is going to
Yep,
purchase
first time
the
we see him.
company. And Jimmy Simpson is trying to pitch him on it, and the father doesn't get it at first. And Jimmy Simpson says something that's very poignant. He goes, "No, this is what you don't understand. You have the opportunity as a businessman to know exactly what people want, their true desires when nobody's watching, when nobody cares, where they think nobody's watching. So in other words, on Westworld, you act like you truly want to act. When you want to fuck something, you fuck it. When you want to kill something, you kill it. When you want to eat something, you eat it. When you want to drink something, you drink. When you want to jerk off someone, you want to punch someone in the face, you want to do whatever the fuck
ultimate
you
free
do.
will.
The ultimate free will. Goes back to our free will conversation. Now, before we get into this idea of like data collection, which you can look at, you know, the issues with Facebook and all that kind of stuff right now, Cambridge Analytica, even MoviePass, they say. MoviePass isn't MoviePass isn't profitable. What MoviePass is losing money so they can get your data. So what they do is they find out if you go to eat before you go to the movie, what restaurants you go before the movie, if you get some food before you go in, or if you get food there. They're tracking pretty much your every move, and you think you're getting the deal because you spend $10 a month. So
How do they see that?
Because part of MoviePass is you can't get the ticket until you're within a certain distance from the theater. So they have to be location tracking you in order for you to unlock the ticket. So say you go to see Infinity War and you have a MoviePass. Shit, guys, I got to wait until I'm 5 minutes away from the theater, 10 minutes away from the theater. While you're looking on the app, they're just extracting all of your locational data and what you're doing before the movie, after the movie, during the movie. Yeah.
Wait,
that's
but
all
how
I'm
do
saying.
they know what you're doing? They can know
'Cause-
where
'cause
you're
when-
at.
all right, this goes
but
for
they
any
don't.
app. This is why I like, unless it's like a must. When you sign into an app and it says we would like
agree
to
to these
access-
terms.
Yeah, we would like to access your locational preferences or your camera. Fuck that, because that just means that they just have whenever you have even your phone. Uber got in trouble because the app was running. They were collecting data even when the app wasn't running. Just
So
the
you're
fact
not
that
even in the Uber. They're figuring out. Now, you're like, how do they know what store you're going into? Because geo-tagging, geo-data is so specific. Like with when you order
Built
your
into your
Uber,
phone.
it knows what part of your apartment you're in.
Right.
My Uber knows if I'm in the kitchen.
Get the fuck.
Yep.
Like literally the dot will not be on the street. It will be into the building.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah,
they'll
yeah,
know
yeah,
if
yeah.
you're in this
Gotcha,
building,
gotcha,
if you're in
gotcha.
that
Okay.
building, etc. And then they'll know what is in that building. Oh, a restaurant is in there. Oh, he likes to go eat before. Now you take that data and you sell that to McDonald's, who's like, I'd like to open up a McDonald's in this location. We want to know what kind of traffic is in that location. Oh, well, we know that there's a movie theater right here, and X amount of people go out to eat before and after the movie theater. This would be a good place. Son, this is how they're
It's
predicting.
happening all around us. We don't even realize.
Dude.
And until you see an ad where, like, it happened to me last week where I was talking about axe throwing. Someone was saying, yo, you got to go to this axe throwing.
Oh,
And then you
yeah.
start seeing ads
I
for
go on
axe.
Instagram, never seen an ad for axe throwing, never even heard of it in my life.
Yeah.
Boom, axe throwing.
You said
The
it.
fuck?
Yeah,
Someone
you
else said
say
it,
it
and
out
and
loud.
my
yeah.
phone was near me, and the phone.
And
picked
here's
it
Wait,
up.
that's a real thing because my boy's been saying that shit
100%.
for mad long.
Son, that's
Yeah.
how they get
I'm
all
not
the.
a paranoid
No, that
person.
should
Son,
happen.
Every time we hang out, the next day he'll send me like his Instagram ads like, look at this. Never got this one
Yep.
before. We talked about this last night. Look at this.
100%.
You
Look at
ready?
this.
You ready? You got Alexa?
No, I don't actually.
Good.
So, this is how stupid human beings are. Alexa listens to you all day, and you think you're winning.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
It listens to you talk all day about, and when you're in the privacy of your own home. So it's similar to Westworld. Westworld's like your own home. You're saying whatever you want to say.
You're banging whenever you
You're
want to
banging whenever you want to bang. You're talking about what food you want to deliver, what
Talking shit.
shows you want to watch, talking shit about whoever you want to watch. Now, they realize that if they just gave us an Alexa, we'd be suspicious. We'd be like, whoa, you saying I get all this shit for free? I got a personal assistant robot for free. Nah.
We gotta pay
You up to something. You collecting data on me. But if I
Pay me $100
$40
for
or $100, I'm like, no, that's my $100 personal assistant robot that
Yeah.
does everything I want. It was just the right price to remove suspicion. It's genius. Now, so it goes back to this. Westworld, they're collecting all this data. What it kind of speaks to, like, for me, this is what I always thought YouTube existed, right? YouTube, a lot of people don't know this, it loses $400 million a quarter, right? So that's $1.6 billion a year, right? And I'm like, why the fuck would they lose $1.6 billion a year? We're getting ads and all this stuff. Like, why is it worth it to Google? Why? Because it's Westworld. It literally, when you're at home YouTubing,
Yeah.
nobody the fuck is there. When there's a reason why these YouTube celebs pop up and they got radical ideas and shit. Like, YouTube celebs are different than TV celebs, right? Ain't no executives tied onto a Jordan Peterson or that
Right.
kind of shit like that. These people that pop up on the YouTube, they say wild shit, but when we're in the privacy of our own home,
We're saying the same shit.
we'll look at that shit.
We'll look at it.
You know what I mean? We'll go, ooh, I want to see this wild thing going on. I want to see these fights. I want to see all this
Yeah.
stuff. So YouTube literally is a video version of Westworld. All the and porn sites are video worlds of West. I wonder if porn sites sell our data, and if they did,
Yeah.
if they do, then that's genius. Then you're making all the money on data sale. Fuck the porn. Pay the porn stars whatever you want. What you're really categorizing is how sick and twisted deep down we are.
Yeah.
Yep, 100%. And that's what he's selling to the Mr. Delos.
And that was getting the data out of the thing, right? In
Yeah.
last season, they're like, oh, we got to get this data out of the
But
out
here's
of
the
the park.
thing, as an audience, we've been watching this entire first season, knowing all this other shit. We never even thought about the idea that they could be collecting,
Yeah.
And so that brings more clarity to the Tessa Thompson character, who's part of Delos, who's coming in to extract. Like, she's
Yeah.
basically coming in to, like, gather all this shit before shit goes crazy, because there's like the way I see it, there's like a black box, the way, like, when a plane crashes and there's, like, the information.
Is that what the gate is?
I think that's what they're trying to extract.
And so they're all trying to go to the black box. Tessa Thompson, Dolores, the Black Hat, Ed Harris. They're all trying to go to this one spot where she says it's freedom, and then they're like, it's not literally a gate, but maybe the freedom is destroying any proof that she is a robot. Right? Maybe, and then maybe Ed Harris is like, I have to go there. Because what is Ed Harris's whole goal now?
He had a weird line, and it was like, I've received my judgment, and this is me appealing the verdict.
I rewinded that line because I couldn't.
And I was
hear
just
it.
like, wait, what the fuck? And at that point, I was just like, man, I am so lost.
Yeah.
I'm missing so
What do you
much
think
shit.
that was?
And I didn't know if, like, this was something
Here's the
that
thing.
I wanted to.
Like
I had
this
written
last
down to ask you
episode,
guys.
it jumped around so much. It's like I felt a little bit more confused, even though they explain some stuff from the first season.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Here's what was
Yeah.
great
the
about
satellites
this
and
episode.
stuff like that.
It gave
Yeah.
it gave clarity to a lot of moments that are all over the place right now, right? So like it gives a little more clarity to where Dolores is when we see her in season 1 and we see her in different places. It gives a little more clarity to Arnold and Bernard in different spots. It also confused the shit out of more parts. Like we still don't know what the fuck.
So Robert designed this, right? Because
Robert
Ed
and
Ed
Arnold.
Harris, no. Like Robert specifically
Designed this thing.
thing to happen,
Yeah.
right? And he said the game and there's a moment where Ed Harris is talking to one of the leaders of these like bandits.
Gus Fring.
He's calling it shout out to Gus Fring.
Gus!
Yeah,
That
I
was
saw
the
that.
best.
Pollos
Fring.
Locos in a motherfucking building. So
Giancarlo Esposito.
that's right. So he was talking to him, and it seemed like Robert was talking to Ed through that character, right? So does Robert still exist somewhere?
I think so.
Yeah,
Okay,
I think
now what is he saying? He said the game is for you. What was the line?
Game is for you. In the first episode of this season, that kid says, "This is the game that's designed for you," to Ed Harris.
And what is that? What is that game?
We don't know yet.
So it's okay that I don't know.
yeah, we're not supposed to know yet.
Oh, okay.
But I
So
was
bad.
confused
But
by that.
yeah,
shit.
here's the
Yeah.
thing. Interesting what Haney brings up, that line.
Yeah.
My verdict has already been made. I'm just trying, or whatever he says.
Right.
Maybe there's something that happens in the outside world that he's like sentenced to complete in Westworld. Like we don't know. We don't know what it is yet. Maybe something happened that his sentence was to
Well,
live.
it
Seems like he's running Delos, or he was.
Right. Well, we know that
Right?
the guy was sick 30 years ago, so he's died already. at
No,
this
that guy
point.
died a long
Yeah.
time ago. As far as Black Hat is concerned, the brother. It seems like a fuck up, right? He's doing.
Oh, he's doing heroin.
He's doing heroin.
Yeah, he's over.
Um,
Celtics won.
it seems
by the
like this guy was
I wasn't gonna
running
say it, but
Delos. Whether he's still running it
way. Yeah.
or not is it the question. That's probably the verdict he's talking about. Like they probably kicked him out. He's no longer kicked off the board or whatever.
What
you
if
know
Tessa
it is.
Thompson's working for that dude?
At Harris?
Well,
No,
I think
for the heroin addict, the brother-in-law.
I think he feels guilty. I think that's what it is. It's like I feel immense guilt from what I've been doing. I've been supporting this thing, and he wants to burn it to the ground. He's like, this is the worst thing I've ever invented. I was part of a place where humans
Like if Zuckerberg,
go.
like, imagine Zuckerberg has this realization, like, oh, holy shit, maybe he's already had it. He just doesn't want to show it.
I mean,
But imagine he's just like, fuck, I really.
so let's say for
fucked this up.
example, Zuckerberg helps Trump win the presidency, right? Who knows if
Let's
he does?
just say
I mean, I think it means absolutely nothing in terms of how he won the presidency. But let's just say, for example, he does, and let's say not only does he win that presidency, but like some election in France, and then some election in Spain, and then some election in Austria, and then elections all around the world are overturned due to this like data mining through Facebook, right? And really fucks up the world because of that, right? Maybe that's the situation that Ed Harris is in.
Right.
And maybe Ed Harris is like, I have to destroy this game from the inside out. I don't have the power to do it on the outside. I know I physically cannot do it on the outside. The board won't let me. I won't get close enough to whatever. But
Because
I
making
can
too much money.
because it's making too much money. Not him, the
the-
entity.
Yeah, the entity. yeah.
Exactly.
The
So, but
property.
what I can do is I can find a way to destroy it from the inside out, and maybe Robert knows that Ed Harris's character is the only one that can do it. Maybe Robert is like, I'm going to build it so it goes in this direction, but I can't destroy it because they would just shut it down. Ed, you're going to have to be the one that pulls the
Well,
plug.
maybe I think he just likes a game of chess, and he's just like,
that's what I'm saying.
you wanna destroy it. This is my baby. I created this.
Oh.
I dare, because it's always been a cat and mouse game between
100%.
Ford and Ed Harris, and he's just like, go ahead. I designed it. Let's see if you can get there.
Ooh, that's kind of fire. He's so cocky because he has the God complex. He's like, no, I'm God here.
100%.
You're on my thing. Here it is. Here's the red carpet. See if you can walk it.
But this is the genius of the show: is we've come out of every episode, or we've only done 2, but when we talked about the past episodes, with different theories because we have no idea where it could go until we get to the end game. You know, so every episode adds new dimensions to these things that we didn't even know were there.
So I want to get into a couple theories I ever heard. But before I did you notice little details? Did you notice Dolores is either wearing when she was in the real
Lace
world,
front?
white dress or black dress?
No, go. Give me that.
Just in like the first scene you see her, right? She's in a
White
I
dress.
forget. She was in a white dress. Then when like I think when she's with Arnold, she's in a white dress.
Yeah.
And then when she's like out another time, she's either in black or white, right? And then you have the white hat, black
black
thing.
hat. They're playing off that.
I didn't catch
Haney picking up on
the connection, but I just noticed that detail.
Have you ever seen so much splendor?
All right, on to the theories.
Yeah.
Have you heard any theories? Because
Nothing.
this is now.
Okay, give me it because I know you on Reddit.
I didn't go on Reddit, but I
Hacker
know.
Haney.
I know the one theory that came from Reddit. What theory? I know you said you heard some theories. We didn't talk about the theories though. What
Yeah.
did you hear?
It-
I've heard 2 theories
In particular, this episode or the bigger picture of the show?
from, I guess, both.
Because for me, it's like I'm constantly applying this to the theories of the bigger picture of the show. But I haven't read any particular to this
Okay.
episode.
2 theories. One is that everyone knows Bernard is a host, right? That he's a robot. Also, shout out to the guy who put it in your comments. I asked who knows that Bernard is a robot, and he came and said Dandy Newton knows. So shout out to you. I forget your name, but shout out to you. I read the comments, and you're smarter than us.
Wait, she's aware of it. Sandy Newton's aware of it.
Yes, because he said he recalled some scene where she knew from season 1. So shout out to you in the comments.
Part of that theory is, if you remember, we were talking about in episode 1 of the season when he wakes up on the beach. They have those cards.
Yeah.
We were talking about it could be high personnel. No, that's high. Those are all hosts that are remaining after.
That's
this
what I said.
Purge.
Right.
Yeah.
And this theory is saying that that's true. That they know, and they're just trying to get this information out of him. When he at the end of that first episode, when he says "I caused this," that's what they're trying to get out of him.
Gotcha.
Right. And they keep running him through a loop. Right? Because his brain is all messed up and he can't remember. So they kind of keep running it, hoping that it's like Groundhog's Day, hoping it triggers something and they can kind of figure out what the fuck happened.
Just like they ran the characters through a loop in Westworld.
It's like Dolores went through for 30 years.
Ah.
So and they keep running him through a loop. That is an interesting theory. Which is why, like, at one point he finishes someone's sentence because he's had the conversation before.
Oh shit.
And the guy's like not even like startled.
Surprised.
He's
He's
just
like,
trying
yeah.
to keep going. Like they don't offer the guy. They just kind of pick him up and then just like start talking to him. Not like, yo, you all right? You've been laying on this beach. You need a glass of water.
Yo.
They just kind of pick him up and like, right to work. Let's go. As if they'd kind of done this before, and they're trying to get to the point to see if they can get anything new. That's a good theory.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. The other theory, I don't even fucking understand.
You're talking about 3 Bernards?
No.
Oh.
You talking about how everyone's a Bernard? I've heard that too, but I don't know. The other theory is this. All right. Bernard that's on the beach is Teddy. Teddy's James Marsden,
Yeah.
right? That they switched him. He's in Bernard's body. It's Teddy's system in Bernard's body.
Yeah.
Right? And then this came from Reddit. I didn't go on Reddit, but some of the board pointed out it came from. And this shit gets like the detail is these motherfuckers can find is crazy, right? So you know when Bernard shoots himself, Ford has him shoot himself in the head. He has a scar on his temple, right? Bernard on the beach has no scar on his temple, right? Bernard on the beach is dressed like Teddy from the train.
Oh shit.
But Bernard with Tessa Thompson does have a scar.
Bernard with Tessa Thompson. So now there's different timelines, right? Now you got like, oh, what period are they in? This is why it got really complicated because when they went to the real world, it was in a whole other timeline.
Yeah, it was
like,
before Westworld has ever happened.
right. So
Yeah. Oh
Bernard
my
with Tessa
God.
Thompson, different timeline, has a scar. This Bernard on the beach has no scar. When you talked about that Rickrolling video that they did, right? And they're like, oh, we're going to put all the spoilers and here it is, right? They did flash some images, which I didn't see the video, but I saw some images that they flashed. And, you know, in season 1, they kept showing Teddy on the train going into Westworld. It's Bernard on the train in the same clothes that Teddy's wearing going into Westworld. That was some of the images that they flashed in that troll video that they did, that the showrunners
Wait a
did.
minute, this is kind of making sense because Bernard was in love with Dolores, and Bernard wanted to ride off in the sunset. Bernard is Arnold, right?
Well,
Yeah. Right.
debatable if we're talking about Teddy, but
This Bernard is Teddy thing is recent. Exactly. I'm lost, so I can hardly keep up. But another big thing, and the episode 1, he's just like, oh, I killed them all or whatever.
Yeah.
And they flash to a body in the water. Did you know that body is Teddy?
No.
That body is Teddy. I saw like a still shot of it. It's James Marsden floating in the water.
So she got to kill her man?
No, he killed. It's just the body of Teddy. He's saying I killed them all. Teddy killed them all. Because wasn't there a whole thing like Teddy is Wyatt? Remember Wyatt from season 1?
We thought it was Wyatt, but Wyatt is really Dolores.
We think.
No, we know.
Oh no!
we know that.
But Wyatt, but Dolores is Wyatt, and she's commanding him to kill something. There's also something with that where he's like, oh, Wyatt makes you wear the flesh and bone of your enemy.
Oh, shit. And we thought it was just like you're wearing like some crazy Native American tribe. That
He's
wears
literally
the-
wearing Bernard's skin.
But he's wearing Bernard's skin.
This shit is blown.
Oh, my God.
there's also a theory at the same time.
Oh
It's
my
called
God.
the 3 Bernard theory. that
Last
there's
theory, and then we got to wrap this up. I
Yeah.
think we're
There's 3
going. for-
Bernards
Oh, my God.
simultaneously on the island that are
Yeah.
what we're seeing with Bernard is happening at the same time, and it's 3 different Bernards. And there's a
Yo,
still.
I gotta give a shout out to all the women out there not fucking these nerds, because if it wasn't for you, if it wasn't for all the pussy you not giving these dudes on Reddit, we would never have these kind of conversations. You know how much not pussy you gotta get to look at
I care. Wait, you just
to
pointed
look
this
at a
out. I care way too
motherfucker
much
in the
about this shit.
water, to look at a motherfucker in the water and be like, nah, that's Teddy. Freeze frame it. I'm gonna find Teddy. You know how much not pussy you gotta get, bro? Like, it's gotta be years of not getting pussy before that shit.
videos. In the first still,
Yeah.
Bernard is if you actually look close enough, it's actually Teddy.
Yo, why don't Thanos get rid of them? You know what I mean? Like, that's all we need. Just a little boom boom. Yeah. Okay, go 3 Bernards and wrap it up, Jack.
I mean, that's basically it. That everything we're seeing with Bernard in different places is happening at the same time, just different parts of the island.
Okay.
When you were talking last week about how you saw the preview for the season, apparently there's a quick still of the 3 Bernards standing next to each other
Ugh.
at the same time. There's also a theory.
So it turns
That-
into Iron Man 3, or where it's just Iron Man's everywhere. Bernard is Iron Man.
Bernards, yeah.
He allegedly can't recognize faces. When they were talking about like when they were in the first episode, like everything that's wrong with them, it's like no facial recognition. There's a theory that every host looks like Bernard, but from his perspective, it's like the faceless, like all those statue hosts that you see. That's just what he sees. But there's a theory that like they're all Bernard. They
Looks
all
like
look
nothing to
Bernard.
me.
Yeah,
But that doesn't make sense because what about the people in the park who are partaking? They all just look like Bernard. Like the people are.
But that's
fucking-
just what's kind of like locked down. Not everyone's in the park.
I gotta watch
and
these
Tessa
episodes
Thompson
more
would then know that he's a host, and she's just like, "Yeah, that's right. Looks like nothing. It's you, motherfucker."
I totally think Tessa Thompson, no matter what theory we're talking about, in the context of now that we're talking about this stuff, Tessa Thompson knows that he's a host.
Yeah, it has to.
I had a girl over last night while I was watching this episode, bro.
Didn't pay attention.
No, I could pay attention, but it was one of those things where it's like this requires full
You
concentration.
need subtitles.
Subtitles. Like, she would say things. She was like, I was thinking the other day, I'd be like, not now. Not now. We're not doing this right now.
Bernard.
Listen, in 1 hour and 6 minutes, exactly, we're going to have this conversation. But if you interrupt again when they're speaking really low, it's going to be a problem for me. Okay? Now, this is not a show you watch with your boo after she had a hard day at work. This is a show you watch alone on the toilet.
This episode was mad long. Let's wrap
Yo, thank you guys for listening, man. I got my debut comedy album is dropping 551. It's gonna drop May 5th. Make sure you get that. Well, it's a pre-sale May 5th, so make sure you get that. Do your thing, man. I'm gonna wrap it
No,
up.
I'm saying like that's like tomorrow.
Yeah. No, Saturday.
Saturday. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Man.
So yeah, make sure you do that, man. Check that out. Pre-sale that, and then the full thing's gonna be available June 18th. So make sure you grab that. I got links on my Instagram, links on my website, all that stuff. But also, I'll be in Toronto May 9th. I believe maybe there's a couple tickets left, but I believe both shows are sold out. And then I'll be in San Francisco 10th through the 12th. at the Punchline Comedy Club. Make sure you check those shows out if you're out there in SF or in the area. And then for the rest of my shows, man, just go to theandrewschulz.com to check it out. Anything you guys want to plug real quick?
Nope.
No, we're good. All right, man. Well, thank you guys so much for listening, man. We'll see you guys next week, or you'll listen to us next week. And honestly, let us know in the comments. Talked about it. Let us know your theories. Slide up in the DMs. I mean, actually, more it's better if you comment on the actual pictures, because then I feel like the conversation gets going. But yeah, we want to hear what you guys think.
I don't want to
about the
read
show.
Andrew's DMs either.
Yeah, you don't want to see that. You definitely don't want to read Alex's. Alex got the
not-
best
yeah.
DMs, yo. Yeah.
Actually, I definitely want to read Alex.
They chill. Keep moving.
All right, guys. This is another episode of Westerbros. Thank you so much. Peace.